Hagawa-santa, 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 Hagawa-santa,
Hey,
Hagawa-santa,
James,
Hagawa-santa,
what are you
Hagawa-santa.
doing?
Oh, I'm trying to do uh, a necromancy thing to bring manga reader back to life.
The only way that's going to happen is if you can get a reasonable time to do a podcast.
Hagawa-santa. You know, I think next time I should use a live chicken and not a dead one. I mean, the book says like sacrificing a chicken, but it never specified whether it should be alive or dead. Already, I'm guessing I should use a live one because all right, I'll do that next week. We'll try that one next week. Anyway, hello everyone, James S. Cassidy here, and I'm back. After what, Steve? You took over last week, didn't you?
Yep.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. I wonder why. Well, because I had a lot of shit going on, and my mother had to go through infusions.
Okay, I'm not even sure what that is.
Okay, I'll explain this. An infusion is basically me, literally injecting antibiotics into her heart
Ah,
through
see.
a heart pick.
Okay.
So, ladies and gentlemen, within a couple of days, you will see this week's podcast. Not only this week's podcast, but also the 2 missing podcasts from September.
I've been lazy. Actually,
So
I've just been
the
very,
fans-
very busy.
Right,
I know.
right.
I apologize. I'll probably get this one up first, and then I'll get the other two.
And we forgive you, as always.
How could you
Because the
not
tone-
forgive me? I mean, look at this face.
I can't see it right now. I'm looking at the chapter.
I know. I have a face for a podcast, you know?
Yep.
Yeah, but no one actually has ever really seen your face.
Some have.
Well, yeah,
Somehow.
we have in the podcast, but I don't think your viewers have seen it.
No, if you've been to the site, you have.
Oh. You mean heaven and earth?
Yeah.
Or as I like to call it, people that actually hate this manga site.
Actually, this is Heaven and Earth has become a NaruSaku fan base website to the. Actually, I don't know what it is anymore. I mean, it's still Naruto related, but we're not really sure.
It seems to be Naruto bashing, manga-wise, character-wise, Sakura-wise, Sasuke-wise, Kakashi-wise. Well, pretty much mainly the males of Team 7, because I've seen members go like, the males are horrible, disgusting. Kishimoto's treatment is horrible to women. Yeah, sometimes I don't want to hear that.
The anti-Naruto Kishimoto is so sexist.
Yeah. Personally,
Yep.
I don't want to hear that from most of them, since some of them are One Piece fans. And One Piece isn't that good with betraying women either.
I don't want to hear it because I know some of them are actually sexist themselves.
Yeah.
So, you know, what's the old saying? Calling the kettle black? But anyway.
I thought it was double standards. Is that the current modern day term?
Yes,
Uh,
but but the phrase "that's the pot calling the kettle black" is so much more classic.
Yeah.
Isn't
It
that-
it basically is that basically is a metaphor for double standards.
Oh, I see.
So,
Forgive my ignorance. I have never heard of it before. Must be before my time.
but it's like me. It's like, how do I want to put it? It's like calling me annoying, and then I look at you and I go, "Well, look who's calling the kettle black."
Oh, I see. I gotta remember that one.
It's an old Scottish proverb.
Oh, how did I not know this? I mean, my dad's Scottish. And then again, I
Yes.
haven't seen him in like...
How
9
much of a
years.
Scottish is he? Is he only Scottish?
He's from Scotland, but I believe my granddad's from Canada. But besides, I haven't seen my dad in 8 years.
Do you know what part of Scotland?
Glenheath, I think, around that area.
Oh, okay. So we get to the chapter.
Yes. Chapter 694. Naruto.
Naruto and Sasuke.
You must really hate chapters named after them.
No.
At least
Okay,
one.
I really want to kill this because I know we've been joking about it, but if people are taking it too seriously now, I don't hate Sasuke for what he is. I hate Sasuke's story.
You hate how he's written.
Yeah. I hate how Kishimoto has used him. You know how some of you people on the podcast or forum and stuff like that will say like, well, we don't hate Sakura herself. We love her character. We just hate the way Kishimoto is treating her. Yeah, same thing with me and Sasuke. I don't really give a shit about his character whatsoever. It's a fine character, don't get me wrong, but I hate his story arc. His entire story arc is nothing but plot holes,
It's been a mess.
plot armor, plot convincing, and then, plot molding. He's a product of the plot.
Yep.
That's what I call it. And then I get, smart ass people, well, isn't technically everybody a product of the plot? And I'm like, that's not what I mean. I mean that he is whatever the plot needs him to be. I mean, it's not a natural progression of cause and effect. He just kind of does what the plot needs him to be. The plot is like, well, we can't have Sasuke destroy the village yet because Naruto is not around to stop him. So what do? We stall it by having Sasuke join the war.
Of course, then again, we also get people who say, these reviews fuck suck. Have you guys never shut up fuck about Sasuke? This review, I am Sasuke fan.
So this is for you. Sasuke, 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 Naruto, Sasuke, 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 and Sasuke, Sasuke.
Sasuke?
Sasuke, 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 Sasuke.
Clearly, this man has never spoken English in his life.
Okay. We never stop talking about Sasuke. Guess what? The manga never stops talking about Sasuke. Naruto never stops talking about Sasuke. So it's kind of hard to not talk about Sasuke when the story itself is basically revolving around this dude.
Well, we haven't. Well, to be fair, Sasuke, ever since Volume 65, we've had many recurring appearances of Sasuke. We did take a break from him when guided the 8 gates, but that was about it.
Yeah.
Anywho, on to the chapter.
I'm gonna send Sasuke to another dimension. I love you, Kaguya. Why'd you have to kill him?
I wish we had more time with her. It was fun. She was interesting.
I loved her. She was a little flat, but whatever.
People go like, worst written villain ever, blah, 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 blah.
No, that's Sasuke. You know why? Because he's not really a villain, but he is still an antagonist. Which people are like, that's not it. An antagonist is someone who's supposed to be evil. No, an antagonist is somebody who's supposed to go against the protagonist. It could be anything. It doesn't even have to be a bad person. It's just somebody who stands in the way of them.
Could be a law.
To be fair, in Kaguya's defense, she didn't have much opponents to cause an impact as big as Madara or Obito could have. I mean, they killed like thousands of ninjas, and Kaguya only got a chance to kill one since they were all turning into Zetsus.
Yes. So we start out at we end where it all began. At this fucking valley.
I wonder if this is the place where Asha and Indra had their first fight or final fight, and that's why they keep coming here.
Yeah. When this is all over, they're gonna have to rebuild the new statues, like kneeling down and sucking each other like Madara's and Hachirama's dicks of Sasuke and Naruto, respectfully.
So I definitely think there's going to be statues of Naruto and Sasuke after this in this valley. Who knows? Or unless there might be a part 3. I don't know. I'm kind of want a part 3 and not at the same time, but who knows? I'll speak more on that later.
Yeah. So You know, they're standing on top of the statues, which, again, huge fucking parallel again. Oh, Madara Sasuke is a lot like Madara, and Naruto is a lot like Hashirama. Really?
Mm-hmm.
Epic non-foreshadowing.
Yes. And Sasuke, typical Sasuke. This chapter is basically mostly talking, so we're gonna get through this quick.
Okay. I'm okay with that. I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes we need a chapter of talking.
Yeah. Well, let me put it this way: this is the first time we've actually seen Sasuke actually open up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I mean about everything. This is basically we finally understand what Sasuke is thinking for once.
Which
And
I quite like, to be honest. I quite like what he's saying and all that. What led to his character up to this. I know it's not been perfect, but I like how he said it all. But anyway, moving on. What he
yeah.
said.
So we have Sasuke, and he's like, "The Hokage that I speak of is my answer." And Naruto, dot dot dot. My brother's
He
life
has
was,
sons.
yeah, my brother's life was what led me to this answer I currently have. By the way, this is the manga panda version, okay?
Yeah,
If
we
you're,
don't trust Manga Stream or Manga Fox or any of those other manga sites.
yeah, okay, again, we're reading from Manga Panda because it is the most accurate.
I
Okay.
know.
It is also the most.
Yeah.
I did hear it was a bit. It did got mistaken with the past, with the love in the Sakura, with the controversial Sakura moment plea in the last chapter. But we're not going into that at the moment.
Yes, because haven't we discussed that enough in the last podcast? Anyhow, this is also the most literal of all translations.
Okay, as I already explained with last week's chapter, the Viz and the Manga Panda were the closest to the original wording and the context. And
Mhm.
that's where I'm drawing the line. Manga stream, forget it. Don't even read it. It's biased. Stop it. Don't even look at that one.
Well,
Okay.
this can also be very biased because they muddled up Kushina's words when it came to finding a girl like her. But I think
What
that
Viz?
this
Yeah.
translation.
Okay. So as I was saying, I'm taking a tangent on this one, but as I was saying on the forum, Manga Panda is like 80% correct and 20% sometimes not correct. But it
Mhm.
has the highest success rate of being the most accurate.
And
Viz is 50-50. It's either dead on the money or it's not even close.
yeah, although people always say manga stream and Viz are the better translations. They should probably, when it turns out now Saku's canon, I really hope people look at manga pandas and they will realize that, oh my god, these guys are more accurate than we thought.
Yeah. Manga stream, forget it. It's not even close. Like it's like 20% accurate.
I would pretty much like it if we could have Kishimoto come over and say which translations were the best, which ones is what he's trying to portray, and also to tell fandoms to put a sock in it.
I would love to see an interview with him.
Yeah.
Mr. Kishimoto. Yes. So, um, question. Did you ever think it was a huge mistake putting Naruto and Sakura together and not Naruhina and Sasuke? Shut the fuck up. Next question. Yeah. So anyway, again, we're gonna read from Manga Panda because it it is the most accurate. At least I think it is. Viz is 50-50. It was accurate last week, but that doesn't mean it's always accurate. Okay, because I hate when people did this. They're like, Viz, oh, it's so accurate this week. We can't ignore it. Great for them. They were accurate last week. That doesn't mean they're always 100% accurate. They've screwed things up in their own translation sometimes, and they altered it. Because I brought that up on the forum. I was like, so all of a sudden, just because Viz Media is right on the money one time, all of a sudden we have to take that as 100% truth? That Viz is the 100% truthful translation? And we know it's not. But anyway. So, as I was saying, Sasuke, my brother's life was what led me to this answer I currently have. Everything in the name of protecting Konoha, this nation. He chose to sacrifice his own family and, in the end, himself as well. I guess I could say that was the start of it all. Up till then, what exactly have we been protecting?
Excuse us while we pass page these fan arts that they always have to put in the chapters.
Yes, which are basically just not even drawn. It's just like, let's just take a manga panel and just put as much detail as we possibly could into it.
Yep.
Which is fine, but it's getting really redundant and repetitive.
Could you at least
Fine.
do that at the end of the chapters? I'm just asking, just saying.
It was fine the way it was before, in the beginning of the chapter, where we could just skip the first couple of pages.
Yeah. So, our predecessors said, a village is a place where families, all kinds of people gather together to avoid killing each other. He said that it was for peace. Itachi chose to carry that burden all by himself, and I finally understand. Yeah, so, Sasuke, just a quick question here. Did you miss the part where the Uchiha wanted to stage a coup? And we're gonna start a war? Because I remember Itachi bringing that one up.
Mhm.
You know? So, I mean, yeah, I know the Konoha are somewhat scumbags in some certain ways, and at least some of the elders were, but the Uchiha weren't much different.
True, but that's pretty much the entire world for you. Every country's been a douche. I mean, being scumbags at one point in real life, because face it, we're all not that. Good.
Yes. So basically,
I mean-
Naruto's just sitting here listening to Sasuke, like, yeah, just looking at his watch, like, You done yet? Because I want to get to Kung Fu fighting.
Mhm.
Everybody was kung fu fighting.
He had to live in the darkness with his bitter experiences. The people treated him like a criminal, a traitor. He shouldered all these feelings by himself, but even so, chose to protect Konoha Village from the shadow. Okay, and he also chose to be a criminal and a traitor.
Yeah, and he also did kind of messed up your mind, Sasuke. I'm
Wow.
just saying.
It's someone like him that should have been Hokage.
Mm. Not someone. Naruto does another ... stare. Not someone chosen by the people, but rather one who will take the hatred without complaining. And then I began
That's
to.
not you. You've been doing nothing but bitching. Oh, Itachi-san, Nissan, my brother.
Well, he's finally learned to stop complaining. Give him that.
Oh, he's still bitching. No, now he's just bitching about something else. Oh, they treat my poor brother like he was a scumbag. It's not fair. He was a good guy. Why you gotta treat him like shit? Well, I guess you can't be Hokage, Sasuke, because if, you have to take the hatred without complaining, and all you're doing is bitching.
And he goes, and then I began to understand Itachi's actions, why he chose to protect the village,
Hey,
that
BlueStar.
sort of thing.
Hey, BlueStar, Steve. You know how Sasuke says I love you?
How?
Yeah, what about it?
You know how he says I love you?
Yeah.
Nissan.
Dude, I think you might have just offended Japanese culture, but but you're making me.
Actually, they're probably laughing with me right now.
I know.
Like, I get it.
We have at least two people from.
And if you've ever
Japan.
played Blaze Blue, you definitely get it.
We at least get two people. I at least know two people from Japan from the forums. One is Maggie, and the other's that dude with the Sasuke avatar. But I think he now also hates Sasuke. I don't know. He seems to be completely.
I noticed that a lot of Japanese stuff has a lot of like brotherly love that just goes overboard. Blaze Boo, brother, we must fight. Naruto, brother, I must kill you. Metal Gear Solid, brother, roadkill, Snake. Okay.
Well, I suppose perhaps they value brother bonds or family bonds more in Japan than we do in the USA because we kind of house in the UK. Because I suppose, how would you put it? Kind of heartless in a sense. I know I'm trying to think of the right words.
Only if they have black hair.
Huh.
No, I can't say that. Jin had a blonde.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, and then I began to understand Itachi's actions, why he chose to protect the village, that sort of thing. Judah. Oh, I can't wait to hear this one, huh, fellas? But he made one mistake, and that mistake was leaving me, his own brother, alone and in the dark. Well, here's a flashlight. Or a box of matches. I don't know. I'm sure he did it to make sure I wouldn't be so full of hate, but I'm not like him. Yeah, I know. You're dumb. He was smart.
It kind of did mess him up. There's one flaw in Itachi's plan. It's that he messed Sasuke up. Regardless, whether you like him or not.
I know. He never did get that pony.
Messed him up big time.
Again, Naruto's just listening to this like, are you fucking serious? You know, he has that face. It's like. He's just staring at Sasuke like. You done yet?
All without a care in the world.
Yeah. You know, Naruto, no matter what you say, you're not gonna change my mind. You know, Sasuke, just because you say your shit doesn't mean people are gonna follow you. My father, mother, brother, who you never talked about. You didn't give a shit about your father and mother this whole time. Did you, cry over them at one point in time? No, you're always over Itachi-san.
Mm-hmm.
You know? But oh well, whatever. I didn't have anyone I could call family.
Well, for me... Oh, wait, are you still... the manga, sorry, my bad.
I am alone in the dark, which I hate that game. And I can most definitely shoulder this hate all by myself.
You know, this is starting to sound something William Shatner would say in a bad movie.
I am alone, and I must definitely shoulder this hate all by myself. That's not logical, Captain.
Shut up, Spock.
To boldly go where no ninja has gone before. I'm sorry for my impressions, but would you like to take a crack at it?
All right, fine. I'll read the rest of this. I'll read the rest of this page in William Shatner.
Oh, please do.
I am alone, and I most definitely can shoulder this hate.
You can skip ahead 2 panels.
I will deal with it alone. All these shinobi problems we face, I'll come up with solutions, judgments, and executions. I'll do all of it. I'll make sure that all this hate is focused on myself alone. And this will pretty much unify the villages.
Priceline negotiator!
Hate will never disappear. So if that were the case... And he just pauses mid-sentence.
Oh, right. Yeah, see that face right there? On the 7th page? Right there? That face? You could tell he's totally thinking of Sakura right now.
Yep.
I mean, you could just see it. You could see... He's looking down at his penis and saying, I could have fucked her. She wanted me.
I think he's more into Karin, if
I think he's more into Naruto. Make love to me, Naruto.
Anywho, he continues on.
Give me the other Rinnegan. I apologize for that. That was a little too far. What do you think? That explains how he gets the eyes, right?
That was foul. We apologize. Anywho, Sasuke just continues on.
Guys, because he was the one that said it. Anyway, you go on.
Sasuke continues on
saying...
Saying,
Lord, I apologize. Leave them starving people in New Guinea, amen.
Just continue on.
Anyway, Sasuke continues on here. That's right. The Hokage that I speak of is a person that could light the darkness that plagues all 5 villages. One that could go through all that and survive.
Personally, Sasuke's words kind of remind me of what Athena said in the Jackson book, saying, the most popular opinion isn't always the best choice, or the least popular opinion by the public is sometimes the right choice. Something like that. I can't remember. I don't have the book.
This is why I call Sasuke an anti-villain. And I say anti-villain, not a villain, an anti-villain. I mean, for those of you who don't know what an anti-villain is, it's basically a person or a character that wants to do something good or believe what they're doing is a good thing, but they go about doing that with evil acts. So basically saying my evil plan to save the world.
Kind of think of it. Most of the big
Just
bad
wait till it's the world.
Most of the big bads in Naruto are like that, really. Well, Nagato, Obito, possibly Madara. I guess Madara can be debated on, and Sasuke, all like that. And I suppose perhaps maybe Kaguya to an extent.
Yeah, there isn't really a major villain in Naruto that was evil just for evil's sake.
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe possibly Orochimaru was the closest, but yeah, Mm-hmm. Yeah, go on. Or was that it?
Well, then we go back to Hagoromo, who apparently is still here. We thought he was going to disappear like 2 chapters ago. Why is he still here?
We haven't really seen him disappear yet. And he remembers what Sasuke says. So that's your answer. And he goes like, yeah. Then we get a panel of the sage looking at Sakura and Kakashi, which I pretty much loved that Mr. Kishimoto did that, because despite Sakura and Kakashi not playing a major role right now, I believe Sakura's going to play some role in this fight somehow. Please let her punch him in Sasuke in the face just once. That's all I'm asking.
Hey. So Sage, what should I do now? I don't know. Maybe you could wake that girl up and then go and beat the shit out of Sasuke. What do you think? I could do that, but I'm a little lazy right now. So can we just believe in them instead? Fine.
At the moment, but I'm glad that she's at least appearing, because sometimes that's because they're still there. They're still there, waiting to have a moment possibly happen.
Yeah. Oh please, Kishimoto, just once, have Sakura. This is what I want to have. Just please, have Sakura go through these mind things where she gets over Sasuke, falls in love with Naruto, like finally just really accepts and absorbs the love that she has for Naruto, and thus loving him in the end, making Narusaku canon. Then have Sakura wake up and out of nowhere just Superman punch Sasuke right through a mountain. Just please, just once. I don't even care if that's the only thing that she does. Just Superman Sasuke through a mountain.
This would make up for all the moments that you should have given her sooner. And
I just want to see all the faces of the Sasuke fans.
I am a woman. Punch.
Hey, wait, there was something I was going to say. What was I going to say? Anyway, have you read the Tales of the Gutsy Ninja scans that have come out over here?
Well, thanks to Lady GT, I did.
Because I think the story might go into that route.
It seems like it. Yeah. It's actually fallen almost exactly.
Yeah. And then we go back to the statues and Naruto and Sasuke standing, and he goes like, do you think everyone would just go, yeah? He said, like I said, I don't care what you guys think of me.
Except for Sakura, because I totally care what she thinks about me.
And now I have the power to do things my way. I think he might value Taka's opinions to some extent.
Yeah,
but
this
is kind of like I was saying with the mark of it.
This is where all the Sasuke fans are saying, see, Sasuke doesn't... It's not that Sasuke doesn't care what everyone thinks about him. It's just he doesn't accept what everybody thinks about him. He wants everybody to hate him because he doesn't want to lose their love. So if he doesn't have their love in the first place, then he can't lose it. Then he can't become even more psychopathic and go through all that pain.
People Saku's dead. You're wrong. Just admit it. You can still ship it for fun, enjoyment, for fiction, but to have it as canon now is just, please.
It'd be the
It
biggest
just-
ass pull in this entire manga.
Yeah. While the Kakashi Susanoo and gaining the two Mangekyo eyes is the biggest ass pull, this would be much worse. I mean, true, power-ups sometimes can be very badly done, but this would be much worse. It
Yeah.
would be an insult to all members of Team 7 and their
Yeah.
cap.
Yeah, I guess.
So then we have Naruto have a flashback to that time when he was talking to Edo Tensei Itachi.
His fourth encounter, funny enough.
Yeah. I'll take on this war all by myself. I'll shoulder everything. This is my role. Sounds familiar, doesn't it?
Uh-huh.
And this is where Itachi's like, don't be stupid. I could not have made it here if not for my friends, huh? If you forget about everyone else after rising to power and becoming obsessed with yourself, you'll end up just like Madara, you know?
There's one thing I wonder. Do you think Mr. Kishimoto redraws these panels when it comes to these kind of flashback issue moments? Or do you think he just has them re-edited with a different color?
I think he still has the original stencils, but they redo the details.
Uh-huh.
At least that's what I think.
Uh-huh.
Because he doesn't draw in the details. He has his workshop for that. He just does the original sketches that he passes them on to his people.
Well, with certain flashbacks to be sure, but to go on a little tangent here, I can remember one instance where he repeats a flashback. Where Sakura, back in part 1, where Sakura, thanks Sasuke for rescuing her from Gaara, and Sasuke tells her no, it was Naruto who did it. That is done once in flashback. Then when it is revisited a second time, where Sasuke is in the hospital after being healed by Tsunade, and he's thinking back to how fucking useless he was against Itachi, because, he thought he could win. Anyhow, he looks back on the instance where Sakura asks him, "You saved me from Gaara, right?" "No, I didn't. It was Naruto." Naruto. And anyhow, there's a difference in art. There's different artwork. It's not.
Yeah.
It's the same, but it's not the same. I tell you to look it up, but that would take too much time for this podcast. So, and moving on.
It goes like, it doesn't matter even if you're strong. Don't try to deal with everything all by yourself, because if you do, you end up losing anyway. The father, Minato, could only become Hokage because he never forgot about Kushina and his comrades. I failed because I tried to do things all by myself, and so that's why I'm leaving it to my friends this time. I do wonder how people did not realize Kushina was Naruto's mother. I'm just kind of wondering if that's a sort of plot hole or something, but I don't think it really matters, even though I think nearly half the fandom have made a big deal about this.
Well, one could argue that the marriage between Minato and Kushina was so secret that only Kakashi knew.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he only did find out that Naruto was Minato's son when he became his sensei, apparently. Well, at least in the Kakashi films.
Yeah.
Which I have yet to see, but I just know because people keep talking about it. Talked about it. Anyway, Naruto goes like, you don't understand anything about Itachi's way of life. There are times you can't do things by yourself. Wasn't it so during the battle with Kaguya?
Oh, burn!
And then Sasuke has his flashback of when his last meeting of Itachi. Well, whatever it is, nothing's ever perfect by itself. That's
Sasuke,
why.
when have you done anything by yourself?
Well, Well, maybe the fight was deader, but I suppose it could be arcade. He used snakes.
Oh yeah. Oh no. See, so he didn't do that by himself. He had the writer on his side.
That was pretty much the only time the first major ass pull in Naruto ever happened.
The great snake escape.
Yeah. But it's still better than what happened with Fairy Tail, I will say that. And the Pell stuff in the One Piece. It was so much better. But still awful. Either way.
Yeah.
That's why we made it so that you'd be drawn to things you've always wanted. And I feel that you're finally going the right way. Sasuke continues staring. His eye looks completely darker on one side now.
I know. Someone took his eye.
Yep.
It's not just what.
By the way, I've had a lot of NaruSaku fans on a couple of the Facebook pages. I know. What are you going on there for? Because I can. Been like taking all the panels from the past two chapters and showing how, Sasuke's been crying the whole time during this whole thing. I'm like, what? They go, look, you can see these lines where Kishimoto's drawing tears. I go, those just look like eyelids.
I wonder if the Satara fans were this deluded when Kitang became canon. Or it looked like it was about to become canon.
You have no idea.
Were they even worse than the NaruSaku fans?
The three worst pairing wars I have ever seen is the Naruto pairing war, the Harry Potter pairing war, and the Airbender pairing war. And you know what the sad part is? The Airbender pairing war had less to work with than the Naruto. Even less! And there still was a huge war over it.
Even now, there's still a huge war over it.
Yeah, and then next to J.K. Rowling, now the Harry Potter pairing war is being fought again.
Because she said, I made a mistake. Never,
You know, on second thought, I think Harry and Hermione might have made a better couple.
Never.
Oh, shit.
Never say. You can say you've done a mistake.
All right.
Character uses, but never say you've done a mistake in pairings. That just makes things much worse. If you're gonna change stuff, just change if certain scenes that happen, like George Lucas did in his Blu-rays and special editions.
You mean like every time in every releases?
Ladies and
Yes.
gentlemen, NaruSaku 4 Light 3G.
It's
Hey,
about
everyone.
time you say that. But I do wonder now.
This is that was a bigger fuck up than was it Steven Spielberg replacing all the guns with walkie-talkies.
Walkie-talkies.
Or no, I can think of an even bigger fuck up. Derpygate. Now, what is it you non-bronies may be asking? Well, let's just say on My Little Pony, when the cross-eyed gray horse finally got a speaking part, parents weren't happy. They changed her name and made her mute again. Bronies were not happy, so they caused a shitstorm all over the internet.
I just don't know what went wrong.
Personally, I'm okay with most of the changes George Lucas does. I mean, sometimes I think the fan reacts to some of the most ridiculous things, like Ewoks blinking.
What about the who shot first? I would have complained about that too.
Well, I don't really care about Han Solo's character, so I don't care.
I just like Harrison Ford's answer.
Yeah.
I like that answer too.
So,
I don't
Mr. Ford, who shot first, Guido or Han? I don't know, and I don't care.
the best answer you can get.
I was like,
Yeah,
the best Han
actually.
Solo ever.
It's
Even
so
when he's
simple.
not playing the role, he's Han Solo.
It's so simple, but it just works.
I think the only thing Han Solo cares as long as he's alive. He doesn't mind who shoots first.
I mind. I shot him first.
The only other change I had issues with knowing Return of the Jedi, but I got over that quickly.
So question. Wait, is the podcast recording right now?
Yes,
We've been
we're
recording.
Okay. So I guess we're done with the chapter covering.
No, we're not done. We're almost done.
Oh,
On Manga Panda, page 11.
I just have to say, boy, what a huge fuck up last week wasn't it? I have never seen such a big fuck up in translation in the history of translation, let alone fan one. And
The comments were chaotic.
it was,
But we-
but it just seems crazy because like we're so used to them. I wouldn't say 100% right, but they can't really make it fuck up like that. That's completely different story. It got to the point that this guy Scott James Cassidy was lost in belief, and everybody else was pretty much in such a huge shock, huge confusion, and such a huge anger. And then we have the real translation, or the real raw, directly from the raw translation, and all of a sudden everything is different story. And then everybody just don't, I don't know, everybody well, not lose their mind, but their minds even more confused than ever. And everybody's
well, I almost turned this podcast into a Power Rangers podcast because I wanted to follow through with my threat on giving up on this fandom. But I digress.
I already
That
gave.
was
I actually gave up on this fandom.
I pretty much
I
feel
did.
like
I'm only
fandoms-
talking to certain people now. I've really gotten to that point.
You know, it's weird. It felt like the last week chapter translation was like a giant April Fool in order to test out the fandom. It's kind of like we should test the world, see if we told them if the world's going to end tomorrow. Let's see how many people will go crazy. Let's see how many people will kill themselves before it even happened. Let's see how many people will actually just say, whatever. I'll just.
Didn't they do that in Family Guy and
Yeah,
Brian?
but they didn't say what I just said, but they did do that. They did do that, and it's funny how they acknowledge. It's like, well, that was the best April Fool jokes, even though we have like over 100 people dying of suicide before it even happened. But hey, we did the greatest April Fool joke. But like, yay?
You dicks.
Yeah. But point is, how is that Manga Panda and Manga Stream got it so wrong? How? Whose fault is that? Is it supposed to be the fans' translation? Is the source they get it from, which is the Chinese spoilers ones? What is the problem? How the hell they messed up this bad?
You notice how we never question the translations until a pairing moment comes up. Always when a pairing moment comes up, do we never really question it? We just take it for what it is. I mean, okay, a couple people were talking about these fan translations and how fuck up they were, and they're like, "Oh, well, now Viz Media is 100% correct all the time," and I was like, "Okay, if we're really gonna be serious about this, we now have to question the entire fucking translation of the manga from chapter 1 and on, because now we don't know what is what anymore."
I really wish we had Kishimoto just say what is right, what is wrong, but he's never going to do that because he probably doesn't give two rat's ass about the fandoms in the US, the UK, Germany, Spain, blah blah blah, all those countries in the West.
You know what's funny is that I actually said it. I didn't even say it on the forum, but probably a lot of people probably be like, no, hell no. But I did say I believe this would be the only time I wish Kishimoto has a social media so people could question, what do you mean by that? I just meant family because it's all about family love. And then close your account, never see a day of internet again, and then off you go. But obviously he can't do that, and obviously he won't do that because he doesn't give a crap, and he doesn't want to go to the social media.
No, he gives a crap, but obviously...
Not to us.
We don't. No.
Not to the base of a pairing war, I guess. I'm not sure.
No, he does give a crap, but this is where the genius is in. He purposely made it confusing. He purposely did it that way.
He got
Why? Why? Because it's a little word that I like to call drama. Okay?
Yeah.
How do you always create drama, especially in soap operas? Kind of like, it's basically the soap opera like effect, where it's just like you create something that sounds so ridiculous at the moment because it doesn't make it much sense until you get to the end of the manga or the story or the episode or something like that. Because then when you reach the end, it's like, okay, this is where we're going for it the whole time. It's like, oh, now it makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which
right.
part is really supposed to happen with most stories, really, with trilogies and all that. I mean, they are like, it's like with the Lord of the Rings, divided into 3 books, but it's really one story.
Of course.
And
if you go by movie wise, it's like watching a 10 hour movie.
Yeah, and that's why I took the week off from the podcast because not only there was a lot of stuff going on in my life, but I had to make heads and tails to this chapter. Like, I was split into two people. There was the emotional side, the radical pairing wars kind of guy that was very upset by this because it's like, you threw everything away, you know?
I don't know if
That said, Kishimoto was terrible at romance when you went on the forum at one point.
Yeah.
Well,
but the whole chapter seemed like it reversed a lot of stuff. And it wasn't just from Sakura's perspective; it was from Naruto's perspective. Well, it was like, oh, remember, I got to keep that promise to Sakura. Did you not just say that the promise was not important anymore?
okay, that's
Like,
your
there was
fault there.
No.
That's your fault. You
No,
obviously missed the whole
bullshit
point of
for
that.
life. Bullshit.
How is
Bullshit.
that
He
bullshit?
said, it said at the Sakura's confession, it says, this is no longer about the promise. That's what he says, word for word.
But
It's
that's-
no longer about the
But
promise.
but the thing is, it's not like he said this is no longer the promise because I just canceled that. It's not. He didn't say that. He's like, about
There's more to
rescuing
it than
Sasuke. About rescuing Sasuke, it's no longer about the promise. It's because I want to save Sasuke. That's just how he is. So that means there's two things you have to count on: the promise and Naruto's wish.
Okay. So what was the burden that was released on Sakura's confession? No one has yet to answer me on this one. I thought the whole fucking burden, especially when Sai brought it up to Sakura, was that the promise itself was the burden because he was taking too much on by himself. And then Kakashi goes about saying, oh, it seems like a burden has been lifted off his shoulders. Well, then I guess the whole point of Sakura's confession was basically fucking pointless, and you could basically just ignore everything that happened in the Land of Iron arc because whatever was changed during that time, it goes right back.
It seems personally that the Land of Iron is the arc that actually messed up Sasuke's character.
It fucked
Sasuke?
up everybody's character. The
Sasuke.
Land of Iron arc fucked up everything. It wasn't just Sasuke. It wasn't just Sakura. It wasn't just Naruto. It was everything. You have Naruto looking like a fucking pussy that he just wants to suck Sasuke's dick. You have Sakura looking like a complete bitch, or at least what according to some people say, because it seemed like she was like trying to do things her own way without, doing it for everybody else, but a lot of people took this the wrong way. And you have Sasuke looking like a psychopath who didn't know what the fuck he was doing, and he just wanted to kill everybody for the sake of the bloodshed.
I wish that was still there, to be honest. But yeah.
Personally, I still like the Kage arc because we get to see more Team 7 screen time. Well, maybe that's because I'm still annoyed.
Yeah,
Well,
then we get to see pussy
But
Naruto.
it not includes Sakura and the Hidden and Kazu arc and Pain arc more.
The idea
But-
is
Hold on, I haven't finished.
Okay.
That Sakura wasn't included in the Hidden and Kazu arc and Pain arc. And I think if she got some more moments in there, this first half of part 2 would have been perfect. That's what I'm just saying. Let's see. But the reason I do like the Kage arc because we do get more screen time, but I just wish it wasn't the only thing besides in current manga that would have happened before the war. But you know what I'm saying.
And now people are taking this fucking bullshit now. More fucking reasons behind Sasuke, so
Everyone's letting it get to them. Now, me, on the other hand, I'm the
No,
most sane person in
what's
the world.
getting to me? What's getting to me is that everybody has their own fucking version of what this story is, and everybody thinks that they're right and everyone else is wrong. Oh, I see it so clearly now. It makes so much sense. Bullshit. Absolute fucking bullshit. Because if you actually believe that what you see is the clear answer,
It's clear to me.
you have no fucking Well,
I'm
fuck
just kidding.
you.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
It's just
Alive,
kidding. It's not clear yet. It's not 100% clear. It's starting
Wait,
to
let James finish.
I got people telling me all the fucking time, oh, Sasuke cares about Sakura. He cherishes that Team 7 bond. No, he doesn't. I'm sorry, he doesn't. The fact that he lets Sakura get killed or die to the point that he doesn't give a shit, and he's completely indifferent about Kakashi and Sakura whatsoever, makes me think that his Team 7 bond is worthless. The only bond that he has is with Naruto. That's it. There's no Team 7 bond. Because if there was, he would show it in his thoughts. You would see that confliction every time, but the only confliction he's ever seen or ever talks about is with Naruto. That's it.
Put it this way: Naruto carries the Team 7 bond in him. So
Bullshit.
No, I'm just talking about a Sasuke perspective view. If he killed Naruto, it's not like he's like, well, I killed Naruto, now I have to kill Sakura and Kakashi, and then I'll be free of burden, and then I can do my revolution. But instead, it's just Naruto because he's the only one that really has a connection to.
Yeah, and for God's sakes, if I see one more fucking argument, oh, he really loves Sakura because he didn't attempt to kill her. He didn't.
Oh my God.
He didn't attempt to kill Kakashi either. I guess he's in love with him too, right?
Exactly.
People, we discussed this last week.
Yeah.
I know we discussed it last week.
You just had to bring it up for life.
Yeah, For Life. Good job, For Life.
I'm just saying, it's such a huge fuck up from last week because we
The
were
entire
all
fandom is a huge fuck up. Okay, I'm saying that right now. It's not Kishimoto anymore. It's us. We put so much credit.
I'm just saying. The translation literally. Okay, you have two different translations. I always believed that it was never a confession. It was more like, please don't do this because you got one more chance right here. Just don't go bad and just get back in Team 7 and maybe we can make it better and stuff like that. But then you have manga stream made it look like, oh my God, I still love you. If you come to me, I will make
have
all
your
love.
babies.
Yes, exactly. It's like, you gotta be shitting me.
Can we please just do this later, please? Let's just continue talking about the chapter. We still haven't finished that.
I'm surprised you didn't finish that.
Yeah,
it's
sorry.
so simple.
Sorry, let's stop talking about Sasuke and let's talk about Sasuke.
I'm surprised you didn't finish the chapter because it's a simple chapter if you think about it.
Well, we nearly finished.
Yeah, and then you came in.
Yeah,
and
but
put up
it's-
this bullshit. We were in the middle of everything, but no, For Life has to come in and take over everything. Oh, I'm so important.
Look. The summary of the chapter is pretty much this. One guy thinks he knows about Sasuke. The other guy, one guy knows he best of Itachi. The other guy knows Itachi better. There.
all I'm gonna say is this: you people with your fucking theories and opinions, you know what? This whole entire manga story, you can look at it one way, but not everything fits. Okay, nothing is actually 100% fitting, and that's because Kishimoto fucked it up. Okay. Okay, you want to tell me that Sasuke cares about Sakura? Okay, he did a poor job of doing it. Even if it's true, it's a poor job of doing it because he's been pretty much indifferent to her.
But
He doesn't hate her, but he doesn't like her either. So it's like,
James, have you seen Chatte's like?
oh
analysis
no,
of
I'm not.
Black?
Don't even bring up chat right now. I'm pissed off at her.
What? How are you pissed off at her?
No, don't even bring her up right now. I'm pissed off at her right now. I'm not going to
Okay.
explain why. I'm just
No,
going to say
let's
I'm pissed off right.
No, let's explain why. You're itching to tell us.
No, I'm not. I'm not going to
Yes, you
explain.
are.
No,
You're
No.
itching to
Talk
tell us.
about this
You
after we
want
talk about
to
the
tell
chat.
us.
How
no,
was
I
it?
don't want to tell you.
Yes, you do. You
I-
want to tell us.
I
It's
don't. Want...
itching. You want to.
So Sasuke says that's why we made it so that you be drawn to things you've always wanted. Or actually, this is Itachi. Sorry, and I feel that you're finally going the right way. Bullshit. Okay, Itachi. Okay, stop this. Okay, stop saying that Sasuke's on the right path because he's not.
You're looking at flashback for the record. You made it sound like, hey, I came back to tell you you're doing good.
Well, didn't he?
He did
kind of did.
I mean, Itachi said it himself. Wait a minute, he's still doing bad shit?
I
What
mean-
the hell?
I mean, this is what, less than a day ago?
It's not even a day ago. Well, actually it is, but
Okay,
Then again,
yeah. Oh,
time-
okay. I'm sorry.
I'm going to say half day.
I'm sorry. We had to stop living like things have been happening. You know, we got to stop living like this happened 2 years ago. It happened like less than a day, a few hours ago, according to
I
that.
think this is one of the problems with the war that hurts it. That so many things
All
happen
this happens in
like
3
3
days.
days. That so many
For
things
3
happen
years.
in 3 days.
For 3
Stop
years.
interrupting. Everything happened in just 3 days. I think that's what hurt the war the most.
Which, by the way, everyone so far has not eaten, drank anything, or slept in the past 24 hours because of this fucking war.
Hey,
Well, just be glad that it's not. They haven't done that for like 3 weeks. Just be glad they haven't done that for like 3 weeks without eating. But anyway, moving on. It says He says it's not just because things will go better. I mean, it's like these two statues, and it goes back to Itachi saying, "Then we'll be like real brothers."
Okay, Itachi. Sorry, Sasuke. You are more in dire need of a blowjob than any other white man in history.
And he goes like, a revolution with the village will no longer fall prey to darkness. I
It's a
will
good
be
game
the
too.
darkness.
Just
I
play
will
it.
start with the darkness left behind from the past. This will be the start of a new future. But
Yeah,
that'll mean the tailed beasts. You're gonna cut down all of the 5 previous Hokages. And he goes like, yes, I will destroy the past. Naruto showing an angry glare.
BlueStar,
That
I
sounds
challenge
like-
you to Sasuke Revolution.
And
it's
that
my
switch coming
generation,
from you.
feel the
I
rhythm
bet you
of the
can
nation.
completely forget about Itachi either. It was because Itachi and you were connected as brothers that made you what you are today.
I did.
Itachi's now a phantom of the past to me, Sasuke saying this. And I will
So-
start being anew from this point onwards.
So pretty much
That
we
will
have
begin
Sasuke.
I'm
Sorry.
still. And
I
that will
know.
begin once I end you. Then you will be the last offering to my late brother.
Sacrifice to the gods.
Sacrifice.
Sacrifice.
So pretty much conclusion, Sasuke has played 2 games, clearly. He has played The Revolution, his own game, and Metal Gear Solid 5. So this is understandable why he come to this conclusion.
Okay.
At least Sasuke has been consistent in one thing.
Hmm?
He has been consistent in one factor.
Being an
Yeah.
ass.
Okay, 2 things.
Well, okay, go. Actually, I want to hear you.
Okay,
This
so
should be good.
the one thing he has been consistent as is he's doing things for his brother, but he's not listening to his brother. Everything Itachi has ever told him, he has completely fucking ignored.
Well, that's what he said. He's like, hey, that's his problem. I'm not him, and that's where all the problems goes down because he thought I would be like, hey, I'm like Itachi. Nope. So naive is the answer to the entire Itachi plot for Sasuke. He was pure naive.
Oh man, there was less bromance between Thor and Loki.
Anyway,
I gotta say, I'm pretty sure everybody already talked about this, but I gotta say, well, it is anime logic, but boy, I don't know how strong is that tidal wave, but if that tidal wave is really strong, I don't know how it's possible for them to hear each other, or let alone hear Sasuke idea of a Hokage. Because if I were Naruto, I would be like, what are you saying? Because you gotta yell. At least I yell. You're not yelling. You're talking.
Did someone make a comic of that? Like,
yes. Yes.
like he does this whole speech with Sasuke, Naruto's like, "What? Speak louder! I can't hear you."
Can we get back to the chapter now?
Sorry.
Naruto once again remembers more about Itachi. I remember you saying that you're Sasuke's brother. That's precisely why you're the only one that can stop him, Naruto. I leave Sasuke in your care. Naruto grits his teeth, and that's
Now,
why. And then Naruto says, "I'm not gonna let ya." And then he says this with the image of Obito, Tsunade, the Third, Jiraiya, Kakashi, Kushina, and Minato behind him.
Naruto, way to go.
Well, it's like,
Well, you
I've
didn't teach him
learned
anything,
everything I've
actually.
Everything I've learned so far from the people of the past, things like failing and thinking of what to do the next time.
Oh, you like parallels? I did not know.
No Ruka,
Okay.
no Neji.
Okay, we go back to Kakashi, the Sage, and Sakura. And Kakashi goes like, Senin-sama. And he goes like, looks like it's time. What should I do? Just believe.
Should wake
There's
that
nothing
girl up
more
and
we
go
can
beat
do
the shit
now.
out of Sasuke.
You should have just kept the Obito's eyes. Why you let him go easy?
Well, Obito was...
I know. I'm messing with you. Don't worry. Don't take
Okay,
it
let's
serious.
just not get into the whole eye thing, because that's still the one written power-up thing I do not like. I mean, the others...
Well, it was temporarily. It was like somebody give you
still-
beast
I still don't
mode
like how
and
it
there you go.
happened,
Have
but-
fun.
I suppose you could say it was like a Power Rangers Super Sentai moment.
Yeah.
Dear God,
Just-
give me the strength to make the decision of what I should do from now on. I'm right here, Oh.
Anyway, the Sage
Yeah.
thinks, "What will you boys do?" And what will happen? It's all up to the two of you. That's what the Sage is remembering his final words in like the spiritual area he was talking to them. they're both sort of paralleling, sort of mirroring each other of what they're saying. So Naruto goes like, well, Sasuke aren't really brothers, but I'm sure we'll be able to be friends again. And Sasuke
Hey,
only
You
goes,
said it like that. I
just
even
when
know
I
you
was
said
beginning
that.
to think I was all alone after Itachi died, but I have to kill Naruto no matter what it takes. The sage looks on at Naruto, and the sage with like a tailed beast behind him, and the sage looks at Sasuke with nothing behind him. With him saying, "My Hokage needs to cut all relations to be complete." The sage silent for Naruto, and the sage saying, "Why Naruto?" to Sasuke. And next, hold on, my laptop just did a stupid site. And Naruto goes like, "We're pretty good pals." And Sasuke says, "That guy's the closest thing to a best friend I ever had."
The entire Naruto manga in a nutshell, right there. Right there. That's the entire Naruto manga right there in one page.
Oh, it works. There we go. Sorry.
Anyway,
Congratulations, Kishimoto. You've done it.
the two are staring at each other. They're staring at the Valley of End, blah, blah, blah. It's kind of like with the first thing. We go back to that flashback when they did their first spar. They charge at each other. Then it's the current things charging. And at last, next chapter, next page, they clash. Their first attack on each other. With them
Yes.
staring intensely at each other.
And
Blah,
then,
blah.
girl,
Yeah. The friendship collides, as it says.
and then
Personally, I
garlic.
like this chapter. I know you don't really like Sasuke at all, James, but I do like his reasoning here, even though it's
I like
flawed.
the reason.
I like how he went about saying it all.
It's that sort of reasoning where you know it's
Again,
bullshit,
the
but you
whole-
just
the
can't
whole-
help but
I know
hate
you
it.
don't like Sasuke,
Hold on,
James.
what
Like,
Steve said?
what
James, can you
what
be
is that supposed to
quiet? I wanna
mean?
hear what Steve said.
What is that supposed to mean? That's like Chen said the same thing to me. Like, oh, she doesn't like what the fuck
He's
that got to
itching-
do with
he's itching to
anything?
tell us.
I think
He's
maybe
itching to tell us. Come on.
What
just
the
wanna
fuck
hear
does
what
that have to
Steve
do with
said.
anything? You don't like Sasuke, James, so that has nothing to do with my opinion on the chapter.
I just want to hear what Steve said, okay?
Who
I
gives
just
a
find
fuck what Steve says?
I do!
Who the fuck are you?
Blue Star Saber. Blue Star Saber.
Good for you. You want a cookie?
Can I just
Too bad we have no cookies.
Oh.
Can I hear what Steve said? Because you interrupted.
Fine, Steve. What were you going to say?
Well, what I said was, it's that reasoning where you know it's bullshit, but you can't help but listen.
What do you mean? Oh, from Sasuke's point of view?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I know what he's trying to do.
You know it's
It's ironic, though.
You know it's asinine, but you can't help but listen because, well, from his point of view, he has a point.
It's
He
a
does.
contradiction, though.
He does.
Yeah.
We have bad president in our time because we do it by choice. We don't do it by like, this guy has a knowledge. We just do it by like, oh, because he saved us from World War II, or he helped us in this war. It's like, so he's just technical. He's just tactics smart. He's not freaking smart in every way. So, it's one of those cases because that's what happens to Hashirama when you think about it. It's like, I'm not saying Hashirama will be a bad Hokage. I mean, look where he's at. I mean, look where he was. But I'm just saying, like, people did it by choice. It's like, oh, you chose him because, when you look at Madara, y'all fear me. When you look at Hashirama, y'all always think he's the nicest guy in the world. What if I'm smart? What if I know how to save you from taxing and all that craziness? What if I could find a way to stop all terrorists once and for all? Nah, we'll go with Hashirama. So... instead of having people doing the choice, you make your choice. You do the choice, which I understand from Sasuke in that point of view. That being said, a lot of things he's trying to do is insane because
It's counterintuitive.
that's the thing.
It's like, hey, your house is on fire. You know how we're gonna put it out? Maybe fire hoses and water? No, we're just gonna light the next house on fire and see if it goes out.
Well,
Um,
I guess Sasuke could be a
I
Captain
mean, it only
Hindsight
kind of
for all
works
we
in
know.
forest fires, but whatever.
So that means
You're still burning down a forest.
So that means Sasuke could be a Captain Hindsight. What you should have done is not use that kind of vault because that vault is sucks. So therefore, if you use the other one, you would actually save. You would actually prevent fire. That's a good idea. All right, thank you. And then just leave the fire alone and just let it burn everybody else. So maybe Sasuke could do better than that. But I don't know. Point is,
Imagine if we just had the same idea that Sasuke has with solving problems. Man, racism is such a bad thing in this country. I know. It's like white people hate black people hate white people. What are we gonna do about it? Let's just kill all the white people. What? If there is no white people, there is no racism. What?
well, technically Senju and Uchiha was doing a racism without doing the racial. Like, haha, what a bad word. But it's pretty much like that. It's kind of like how they did it with One Piece with fishmen and people. It's like race war without being too out there.
With One Piece, it still did not handle the racism issue that well, if you ask me. I mean,
Which one? Fisherman Island, he said?
Fisherman Island.
The only redeeming part was the
Sasuke.
flashback. The only redeeming part is the flashback. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but I'd say
Flashback was good.
people say, hold on, listen to me say. Many people say that the racism in those arcs in like Fisherman Island and Skype, the racist issues were handled poorly.
Skype had races? Oh, yeah.
I think Shadians were like based off of Native Americans.
Well, yeah, but well,
I'm not entirely sure.
I guess I don't know. The way I see it is one guy find an ancient world and nobody want to believe him. He has the chance to show the world, but it went too late. It ended up being like that damn frog that sings "Hello, my baby, hello, my buddy," but then everybody always think he's crazy, so he lost credibility. Then ended up killing him.
Let me just say. Let's see. What I was going to say. Let's see. Damn it, you always interrupt and I forget what I'm going to say. Damn it. That's before life.
I'm sorry.
Well, one thing that also sort of damages One Piece's message on racism is that all the females look the same and the same skin color, despite...
But that's not
Wait, hold on.
Okay.
And despite the fact that all the guys look like they're either black from the desert or Native Americans. I mean, look at Vivi. She's white as any white person, but every dude in her, well, nearly every dude, is as tan as like the color as a person from the desert should be.
She's so white, snow looks dark.
Not to mention, like,
Look,
there's some characters.
If I could buy...
Straw Hats have also gotten some whitewashing, if you notice. They've become a lot lighter skinned than they were in the first half of One Piece than they are now.
I guess. I don't know.
I'm not really good at explaining it, but...
Oh, no, I understand you, but I guess I never went that thorough with it, but I don't know.
Yeah.
If I could find... If it get...
a blog called One Piece Irks, and there's whole issues about this anyway.
Well, if anything, if I ever see something worse than the Dragon Ball interpretation of black people, then I won't argue anymore.
Apparently the Afro thing's an insult to black people.
Well, it's not that. It's just the design.
Huh?
You know. But anyway. Scott says, according to BlueStar, you hate Sasuke, so what do you think about this chapter?
James, we're talking to you. Heck, for life, he
No, you pissed me off.
He always pisses
What do I think about this chapter? It's a typical chapter. You know, it's not bad, but it's not, you know, it's not something... I've never really been excited about the Naruto and Sasuke fight. Nothing has really driven me to want to see this fight happening because of all the stuff that's already been happening. I know what's going to happen at the end, so I'm not really looking forward to it. I'm more looking forward to what Sakura is going to do with this entire fight.
I
And that's the
smell
sad part. I don't really care about Sasuke's viewpoint because we know he's going to change that viewpoint in this fight. We already know Naruto's viewpoint. He maybe could learn something out of this, like grow a pair and actually tell Sakura how you feel, but
Well, well, it's funny because this last chapter we actually got a straight answer from Sasuke because we never got a straight answer. So it felt like Kishimoto has the need to like, you know what? Let me just flat out tell everybody that Sasuke never have interest in her.
yeah, we got a straight answer, and people are still not accepting it. So
You know what's funny? You know what's funny? He's honest. He is honest with a lot of things, and he is blunt being at that. And it's not like he's lying. Nobody told him. Nobody said he's lying. I mean, nobody said like, but don't you care about her? I don't care about her at all. Then you could say, fine, you could try to argue. But when you talk about, he was talking about what, romantic love? Oh, please, I don't even know why she look at me like that.
Oh.
In fact, I only never seen her that way at all. So pretty much that was the honest part. And then that's where Kakashi's like, okay, you didn't need to say it like that, but that was besides the point.
what a
It's
dick,
about
Sasuke.
Yeah.
You know, and no could have
That's-
sufficed.
It's like what I said in the forum. Well, gee, Sasuke, I actually I was just gonna say family love, but saying that you really killed the entire half of fandom of this place. But that's besides the point.
Can you drill any more holes into your ship, please? I mean, I still think it's above the water.
Yeah. So because it never made him a liar. It just made him. He just made him. He pretty much said the honest thing, just in the wrong
Honestly,
time.
I'm thinking Sasuke's talking to his own fan base.
He
like-
probably was. That's why he has.
What are
a
you
panel
living
of
in
his
a
own.
daydreaming? You know, are you just daydreaming and living in this fantasy world or something? Because honestly, I don't give a shit. And I'm serious, and I bring that up. But I actually managed to own a Sasuke fan recently, earlier today.
Right.
Because I pointed out a double standard with this one. Last chapter, we all know, one of the Sasuke arguments that's been going around is they say that Sasuke doesn't mean what he says. He's actually rejecting her and pushing away, not because he doesn't feel anything for her, but because he doesn't want her to fall in love with him because he thinks he's a criminal.
That sounds. What?
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, let's just say okay. So if that is true, then Sasuke knows that he is evil, and thus he considers himself a bad guy. This is where the Sasuke fan says, but he's not a bad guy, because here in this Kishimoto interview, which we all know which one it is, he says that Sasuke was not good or bad, he was just pure. You know, he doesn't believe what he's doing is a bad thing.
Right.
You know, I guess he thinks it's a bad act, but he doesn't think it's a bad thing to do. It's kind of a necessary kind of thing. And I thought to myself, but wait a minute, you just said Sasuke thought of himself as an evil, as a criminal. So he can't think of himself as a criminal and think that what he's doing is right at the same time. Because even criminals know that what they're doing is bad. You don't hear a thief going, I'm not stealing, I'm just taking stuff. Because it's all free. What?
Right.
It's okay. It's okay to take other people's stuff. You know? No. Thieves know what they're, bad guys know what they're doing. They take enjoyment of doing the bad thing against the law.
They're like dead or hidden and cousin. Not like bad guys. They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Dead or hidden and cousin.
Yeah, so this is the double standard that people have played with this one. I go, you can't have Sasuke say that he's right and that think that he really is the good guy or doing the right choice, but then say that he doesn't want to fall in love with Sakura because he knows he's a criminal.
Oh, I get it now. That's stupid.
Yeah, that really
that
is
makes
stupid.
no sense.
Yeah, that's why I shot that one down, and then that's when Sasuke fans kind of go into this meltdown mode because they don't know how to respond to that, so they try to say, well, you're just not reading the manga correctly. No, you're not reading it correctly, okay?
Does not compute.
And I'll put the panel up 15 million times if I have to. Honestly, I'm not interested in her at all, and I see no reason why she should be interested in me.
It's not
Boom.
like Sasuke ever lied.
Dead.
It's not
You
like
know?
it's not like Sasuke ever really lied. It's like he always been blunt and truthfully about it. And this is the truth for it. Like I said, it's not like he said I never care about her. I'm like, okay, that's bullshit. As much as any one of us probably think, I don't want that. I don't want to acknowledge that. But the fact that he only talking about the romantic love, that's not bullshit. Because that's true. We witnessed the entire over 600 chapters, and we have seen him not remotely interested in it at all. He finally said it straight up, so everybody could shut the fuck up and just enjoy the manga somehow, some way.
Yeah,
Unless
and
you
if
could
you don't
drop it
accept it,
because
that's your fault.
exactly.
Anyway, I
And I
do
don't get.
remember in one of the data books saying that Sakura did feel Sasuke's lonely heart, but I think it was more on a caring kind of thing, because
Yeah.
Sakura in like maybe a motherly kind of thing or sister-like thing.
Or
No.
the data books are outdated and Kishimoto has changed his mind about the whole thing.
Well,
I don't. That could
Is-
possibly. There might be few continuity errors with the data books, but I think this is what he's trying to say, James. And come on,
wait,
give
I could have sworn James wrote this, and or was it somebody else? Whatever. Keep going.
let's see.
I thought you was ready.
From what Chatter, this is what I mainly read from Chatter, but I believe Sasuke did care about Sasuke, but more on like he saw her as like a motherly figure, maybe a sister-like figure.
Family.
Yeah,
But-
in part 1.
Yes, in
One.
part one. Yes, in part one.
Part 2 is not part 1.
Yes.
Put it this way. Put it this way. Put it this way. Part
So,
2 is easy.
Part one still
Part
has,
2 he could race it easy, but not for Naruto. It's still a problem.
It's still part one still has things that tie into part two, but not in the way people think. But anyway,
Unless he really transfer all that to the
Otherwise, I
TCT.
before you guys interrupted me. Let's see. Oh yes, but because Sasuke at the time kept getting that attachments like bonds were so weakening him, he had to try and sever it as soon as possible, which is why he said thank you the way he did, and rejected her by going like you're annoying, blah blah blah, is the way he did it because he needed to cut ties with her, but he at least tried to do it on a good terms at least, something like that.
Not this time.
Yes, and when he really cuts ties, he really fucking cuts ties.
Back
Now
then,
he's so indifferent to her, he doesn't care if she lives or dies. He's not going to do it himself because what's the point? It's
There is no
wasted
point.
energy, you know.
Yeah.
So
And he's not a psychopath, so he probably back to the old style. Well, if they come after me, this is all self defense. So don't look at me as a killer. Just look at me as a guy who just protected himself. Okay, there. That's pretty much Sasuke old ideology and now today. Even though he's gonna kill Naruto, but I digress.
anyway, there's this one
It's
kind
gonna
of
feel
post
so
I
awkward.
want to read out that deals with the whole Naruto wanting to save Sasuke thing, if anyone doesn't mind.
The what?
There's this post from Kyrida that I want to read out. That's from Tumblr, if anyone doesn't mind. That it's about the whole why the Naruto Sasuke bond. Naruto trying to save Sasuke thing. Does anyone have issues with me reading it?
Scott?
It's sort of like a response to like this like official translation, and she goes like, "Yep," which goes right along with the observation Kakashi made about Sakura's feelings having changed since concerning Sasuke a few chapters back. I've been saying this again and again. It's the teammate bond, same as Naruto feels for Sasuke. And then she goes on, you see, this is echoing the bond with the Sanin had, although Orochimaru didn't reject the bond completely like Sasuke has. And Tsunade never made the mistake of having a crush on Orochimaru. Tsunade knew Orochimaru was a twisted monster, but even then took her several days to make the decision to try and kill him. And even more so after that one time she never tried or even planned to send someone else to. Besides attempt was Danzo's plan. And note, Orochimaru threatened the village again, but never followed through with it once Tsunade became Hokage. In fact, he decided in some twisted way that they were his allies, going first stopping Sasuke from attempting to kill Naruto and Sakura rather firmly. And in the war arc, he saved Tsunade's life. and when he betrayed the village and fought Jiraiya for trying to stop him, he didn't injure Jiraiya as badly as Sasuke did with Naruto. Even when he did kill Hiruzen, the third, Hiruzen detected regret in Orochimaru. I think its kind of bond is difficult for most Westerners to understand, especially when it's about a character who broke the bond and turned evil. Why do they keep trying to save him? Notice Kishimoto even had other characters ask that question, though not usually with the level of disgust Westerners readers react with. In Western culture, even in group bonds, a personal betrayal will often break that bond. You see that in history of Scotland, probably the Western Europe culture, with the closest similarity in medieval culture to Japan's, clans being roughly comparable to Uji. A Scottish clan would act finally break apart upon a betrayal, and forgiveness was quite difficult. That carried out over in the area of America settled by the largest number of people of Scottish ancestry. The applicant mountain states, the infamous Hatfields and McCoy feud that went on for generations, is the best known for these. It's difficult for Westerners to understand the depth of a group bond. One must shut the mindset of our culture and let the story guide you. Yes, in my Western mindset, attempting to save someone who had not only has betrayed you multiple times, but doesn't even want to be saved, doesn't make sense. But I've read enough Japanese literature and manga to understand the storyline and wonder where it will end up. My guess has always been Sasuke will become a wanderer, finally accepting the teammate bond, but deciding he needs to finally discover who he is, not living out where he is twisted from the mishmash of messages he's heard since he was small. Perhaps his adopted team tackle will travel with him. That's it. Thoughts?
I like it.
Yeah, we already knew this.
Yeah.
Our problem was not what it is, but how it was expressed. And
Pretty much.
I wish people would get this. It's not what Sasuke is. It's not the Naruto and Sasuke bond that is the problem. It's how this was executed, how it was demonstrated. It's hard for me to accept that Naruto sees Sasuke as a brother when the relationship was always rocky. If it started out really good where they were buddy-buddy to the point that they could see each other as brothers, even back then yes, I could understand why Naruto wants to hold on to those bonds. But even back then, Sasuke was a cold-hearted jerk. Even back then, he, rejected everything and pushed everybody away. He didn't do things because he was best friends with people. He did things because he saw as a benefit to himself. And that was my biggest problem with this. And again, and a lot of people make this fucking complaint with Sakura. Why does she still love him, even though he's been a jerk? Why does Naruto still want to be his friend, even though he was the same exact way with him? What's with, everyone is always looking at Sakura and her love for Sasuke and why it's so bad and everything like that. But I could say the same thing about Naruto's friendship to Sasuke. All the problems, him fainting and hyperventilating because he doesn't want to accept what Sasuke is. Him, getting upset, crying, getting mad because, again, people are telling him this truth about Sasuke and he refuses to accept it. There's even a couple times where I swear to God, it seems like Sakura wanted to get out and Naruto just pushed her back in.
Well, she almost did.
And there, there's a couple times where I just think it's like, the only reason why we're still worried about this is because Naruto has been constantly worrying about it. If it was anybody else, they would have just dropped this.
Well, that was the point of Kage Summon arc. Naruto is trying to do his best to drop it, but everything just keep going and going.
That is the whole point.
That was the whole point of the Kage arc, especially his naivety that everything will go back to normal. Yeah.
This is the whole point of the manga, though. But the problem I have with, again, it's not what it is. It's how it is executed. And especially with the fandoms that are bitching at one aspect and never realizing it's also occurring in other aspects or even worse in other aspects. Don't even talk to me about Sakura's love for Sasuke and why that's still lingering. Instead, explain to me how Naruto's friendship with Sasuke is justified after all the crap that, that's been going on. How can you say that Naruto is this strong person when, he's become even more emotional than Sakura has over this thing? I've never seen Sakura faint over Sasuke because she was highly emotional. I'll put it that way. Naruto has.
Well, you faint. She did faint. Well, that's Genjutsu, but yeah, I understand what that means too.
And that was my biggest concern. It's the reason why I don't like Sasuke. It's the reason why I'm having a hard time with this story sometimes. It's the whole reason why I have issues accepting a lot of things is because the execution was just terrible. And you all know this. Because I see it. I see the post all the time on the forums where people bitching. If you have no problems with this Naruto and Sasuke thing between their friendship, you should have no problems accepting everything else. You really shouldn't.
That's true.
Personally, I'm okay with the Naruto Sasuke bond. I'm fine with it. I've seen bonds like this happen times before.
I would say this.
I do sort of resent the fact that Sasuke sometimes takes up more screen time than he should, and sometimes it's more of his jackass side than his good side. I can say at least in part one, you could say Mr. Kishimoto tried. Didn't do it perfectly, but you could say at least tried, because I did like it when it came to the whole Sasuke retrieval arc, but I think that was when it came to the best with this whole issue with their bonds and that.
I just want people to understand me for once.
They understand you.
No, they don't understand me because they always think that it's always blind hatred. I just hate Sasuke because, because of some shallow reasoning, and I'm like, no.
I would say,
and because this is what's been pissing me off lately, because a lot of people have been doing that to me. Oh, well, you hate Sasuke, so you don't understand. No, I understand perfectly. Maybe your love for Sasuke is not making you understand. You want to forgive him for everything so easily. No, I don't. Yeah, you kind of do. You want to excuse everything that he does. A lot of people are still doing it. Oh, well, because Itachi messed him up. That's why he's so fucked up in the head. No. No. The revenge, maybe. Yes, that covers the revenge why he wanted. Everything else, it's him being a fucking dick. Okay? It's just him being a completely fucking dick, and you have to accept that. There's no excuse why anybody should act like this. None. And I really am tired of people trying to excuse Sasuke. Let him fucking take the punishment. Even Naruto is the same fucking way. I'm gonna take the beatings for Naruto. I'm gonna take in all his hatred. Naruto, you're doing exactly what Sasuke is doing.
Well, yeah. Well, didn't Itachi already told him after that anyway? So it's like, we can't even say his ideas is the same anymore, because everything keeps changing. Well, not keep changing, more like evolving, since he always has to learn a thing or two. He really understands like this whole Team 7 is not going to just get back together like all friendship and buddies, because it's not that simple, especially when Sasuke is the one that's causing this problem. So then you have Itachi saying like, okay, you're trying to save everything in the world just by yourself. What, you crazy? Yeah. You can't be this stupid. Actually, you probably are. But still, the point is, you're not supposed to be doing this, because you're just doing the same thing as Madara was doing.
Yeah.
So,
and the funny thing is that here, Naruto, three people told you that you shouldn't be doing this by yourself. Right. You can't take on the whole entire thing by yourself. Nobody can do that. Not even your father could do it.
Mm-hmm. Well,
he's strong.
It's funny because I will give somewhat credit that he tried that not to Kishi. I will give some credit to Kishi that he managed to find a way to have an excuse, like, why would Kakashi and Sakura just stand there and just like, well, look at them fighting. Well, one, Kakashi is way too weak. Two, Sakura is in the Genjutsu or out cold. So that's my excuse. Now these two has to fight. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Instead of like, oh, you guys are okay. Let's hope you.
Does join in the fight. I'm hoping that Sakura does join the fight.
Well, we'll see.
Because
We'll see.
I want to see it.
Well, we'll see. Right now.
For like,
one at a time,
I want
please,
to see
please.
it.
Shut up, Steve. I hear you laughing in the background. You shut the fuck up right now.
Oh.
He's laughing at me with his eyes. I can see it.
Personally, to me, let's say people that completely hate Sasuke and those who excuse Sasuke for everything. Shut up! You're both annoying. Not referring to you, James. I'm just referring to like those that hate Sasuke just for hating him. Blah blah blah.
I don't hate Sasuke. In fact, I actually love Sasuke's character. His dynamic, his everything. I actually do enjoy it because it's something different. It actually is. It actually is a contender against Naruto's views. It actually is. It doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't make sense what Sasuke does. But you know what? Sometimes villains don't make sense. They just come to conclusions because that's how they see it, and that's fine. That I have no problem with that. The problem is the execution and the setup and how Kishi has like just stalled and stalled and stalled and stalled and stalled for this fight coming. That's been really annoying.
It kind of hurt that all we saw was for the past few, like 40 chapters was constant Naruto Sasuke team ups. I think that kind of hurt. In a sense.
And Naruto, God. The whole thing. Like I said, he was told 3 times that he can't do everything on his own. That he can't do everything on his own.
Well, it's not like he. It's
3
not like
times. No.
It's not like. I'm just saying. It's not like he told. It's not like he told. It's not like he told.
Well, I
Kakashi.
Just want to hear what James is saying.
3 times, Iruka told him, "You're not the only one fighting in this war." Itachi told him, "You're not the only one fighting in this war. Everybody has the. You can't take on everything by yourself." You know, a lot of other people told him, "You can't take this on by yourself." They told him with the whole Sasuke thing, "You cannot take Sasuke by yourself." And you said it yourself. You're not strong enough. So let us help you. He doesn't learn this until after Neji dies. He doesn't learn any of this until after Neji dies, when Neji sacrifices himself for Naruto's sake. And I was like, it takes someone to die for you to finally figure this one out.
I was about to say that. It seems like it does have to take a death, which is fucked up, but I guess that's what happens when you don't listen.
James, wait, let me, in a more serious answer, sometimes people have to learn things the hard way. I mean, Naruto sometimes it has to take the loss of something dear to snap out of like this obsession. I mean, look at Harry Potter and Deathly Hallows. Harry was so obsessed with the Hallows at one point that it wasn't until Dobby died that he realized he'd been focusing on them too much and he should be going after the Horcruxes like he was originally supposed to. It's like that. Personally, with Naruto.
Makes sense. I'm just saying. I can't. It's hard.
Practice what you preach, Naruto.
It's hard. The thing is, right now, I can't really blame Naruto until he actually says, like, say if Kakashi do go there, and then Naruto said, "Leave this. This is wait."
Could be Sakura that helps him take down.
Well, my point is, if they come, either one, who knows? If they come and Naruto's the one's like, "Stay out of this. This is just between Naruto. And this is just me and Sasuke." Then yeah, he didn't learn. But again, there's an excuse right now. So Kakashi can't move for crap. He can't really. Well, he could move, but he can't really do anything anymore. Sakura's out, and that's it. And Hagoromo is finally disappearing. And pretty sure Hagoromo can't even fight. So.
Yeah, well, I'm hoping that Sakura does come here. Despite what you're thinking, James, that I shouldn't put high expectations, I think she should.
I wish you never say anything, but whatever.
Yeah, just be quiet. Anyway, I'm just hoping that whatever editor Kishimoto has, he does not say, just let the guys fight, because apparently that's happened before with in the Pain arc where Tsunade was supposed to fight Pain. But he didn't. But I'm just really hoping that
we're gonna bring Hinata in because fuck reasoning.
Because I'm just hoping
the tree.
Okay, can we just not joke for a second? Because
Alright.
I'm just hoping that I'm just hoping the editor will let Mr. Kishimoto do the fight out how he wants, but I also want Sakura to be included, and I do not want an editor to cut that out.
Well, okay. This chapter was the fourth chapter of the volume. That means the next 3 to 4 chapters is gonna be eventful, and then the last 2 chapters will be conclusion, unless this fight does go for a long time. But that remains to be seen. So, I don't know. I'm trying my best not to put on this whole it is the last coming, so you have to finish your manga before the last, or finish this fight before the last, and all that crap. I don't know. I'm not gonna put that into my thought. So I'm just gonna see how this all plays out. I want to see how this is all gonna go down. I just want to see how it just ends. I'm not gonna be like, well, there's a countdown. It's December 6th. You gotta have 4 more chapters to go, or 6 more chapters to go. So no, just
That's
rush
the
the
one
crap.
issue I've been having with the fandom, besides the usual bitching, is they're saying it's going to end this year. It's going to end this year. Shut up. There is no physical proof that it's going to end this year.
Let
Sure,
alone there's no
like
proof with the last.
It looks like it's the final fight that's happening, and it looks like the Naruto movie might imply the last Naruto movie, but there's still this new era project that's happening, and we don't know that much about it. We only know a few sketches.
That's it.
That we know.
I completely forgot what I was
Steve?
gonna say.
You haven't let Steve talk yet. Let's see what he has to say.
Well, you have
Well,
with your Steve.
I'm sorry.
There
I'm
you go.
still chuckling here because I've been laughing these past 5 minutes. I actually just, well, no. I'm not gonna-
Sorry.
Stop making me laugh. I had enough of that during the entire 5-minute discussion. Oh my god. Alright, so let's see. What can I talk about here? What can I contribute? Alright, let's see.
And that's our show,
You know, the-
everybody. Thanks for listening.
Nice job. Now I'm laughing again. Fuck. No. Okay, this chapter. All right, for me, 5 out of 10. Yes, Yes, it's really good, but however, it's meh. There's nothing to talk home about.
What?
It's meh.
About to
It's
say.
Meh.
It's meh. There's
That
nothing
sounds-
to write home about. There's
that
no
sounds-
controversy. There's no what ifs. It's pure and simple exposition, which is
Yeah.
fine. We sort of need some breathers. After all, after that entire fight with Kaguya, now we're about to start up another one.
Joy. I'm surprised. Well, then again, Sasuke probably know himself. Well, this is the best time to go against Naruto because he's probably a little weaker, and
I'm
not
still
completely
not
weak.
a fan of
but
the idea,
weaker.
but I'm okay with it.
No, I'm just saying.
A little weaker. How did he get so weak? He didn't do shit.
I'm talking about Naruto. Naruto got
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
That's what I'm-
sorry.
that's-
Sorry.
that's
I
what
was
I'm thinking,
implying
Sa-
like, oh, now Sasuke is weaker. They
No,
can fight on
he's
even level.
He's probably 98%. He's 98%.
That's what happens when you don't do anything.
It's kind of ironic, really.
What'd he do? Lose his breath when he got flung through a dimensional portal?
I was-
Oh, poor Sasuke.
Yeah, when it's
You
about
got-
a year or so ago.
No, it was the eye stare. The eye stare to Sakura. That took a lot of Damn, I gotta focus on her for like a good panel. It's
Yeah,
just
now his brain is pregnant.
You know, the saddest thing is about what's going on with us right now in the podcast. Back then, well, we probably did interrupt each other a lot. We weren't as bad as we are now, but with the fandom and the whole Sasuke issue, We've been just at each other's throats, really.
Just do Man of Steel to Sasuke and we were good to go.
Oh boy, Man of Steel to Sasuke. Wouldn't that be the answer?
I'm just.
You know, I gotta say, it's gonna be funny when this whole war ends and everybody's released from the tree. You know, Orochimaru is all hyped up about the new win, only to find out I'm going back to Konoha and be buddy with my friend Naruto. That's your new win? Like, it's kind of weird, the fact that he's not gonna experience this and he's gonna see the worst of it or the most friendliness. Oh, screw this! I'm taking over your body right now. Ah! Whatever, Orochimaru makes that noise, but.
My only disappointment is just that Naruto's not going to learn a particular lesson.
And what's that?
He's not going to know what it's like to lose and win at the same time. He's not going to know what it's like to understand that just because you lost, just because you didn't get exactly what you wanted, doesn't mean doesn't mean you failed. It just means that the outcome that you got, you still won, but it's not the outcome that you got. You know, it's not the outcome that you wanted.
You know, I think you're still gonna get that, but not in the way you want it to be, James. And there's no way Sasuke
with the insults. What do you mean by that, BlueStar? You mean the whole Sasuke doesn't die shit? You know what? We all knew that. We all knew that Sasuke was not going to die. I have accepted that a long time ago. Okay? Again, with the insults, just... God damn, why do I have you on the show anymore?
Sorry, James. You've been talking about Sasuke for 2 hours straight, and it's 1:49 here. Okay.
This is why I mute my microphone.
Man, with friends like you, who needs enemies?
You know. I forgot what I was gonna say. You want something Sasuke stuff? Oh yeah, you know I said it before. I'll say it again. Best possible ending. Do not, for any circumstance, have him go back to Konoha with arm raising, high fiving, fist pumping. If I could get none of that, I'm good. I don't care. I'm good. I better not see that. Honest to God, I better not see that.
I better not see Sasuke within 40 feet of Sakura after this one.
If you're gonna say my bad, I care about you, I'm out, bye, then fine. But after that, stay away.
My bad. Yeah, like that makes everything better, Sasuke.
No, it doesn't make anything better, but I'm just saying, just rush out, hi Sakura, bye Sakura, like that. Pure simple.
Sorry, I tried to kill you 3 times.
Just leave because your eyes is permanent. Naruto's transformation is not permanent, so he could actually walk it down, chilling with everybody else. No more eyes, no more hair, no more everything. While Sasuke is going to frightening kids with his Sharingan eye and his Rinnegan eye.
A long journey and be a Muslim pirate.
What you're saying for life. I have
What you
no
said?
idea what you're saying.
No, okay. I got the impression a long time ago the Naruto transformation, the whole 9 Bijus inside of it. I thought he'd have a permanent QB eyes with a sage eyes, walking around in Konoha, like, hey, what's up, guys? Oh my God, you look freaky. He's like, oh yeah, can I turn off this power?
He's staring
anymore?
into my soul.
You have a plus for an eye, you know. But for Sasuke looks permanent, and it does show. I think his eyes is permanent now.
Yeah, he is.
Okay, anyway, before this laughing, what did I do wrong with the...
You accused them for being haters, and therefore everything you say or anything that any people that like Sasuke will be denied because Scott hates Sasuke.
No. Wrong for life.
Okay.
Wrong.
No, not me. Not me. I'm not accusing you.
For life, shut up.
No, even your
just
logic is
shut up.
wrong.
Just shut up for a moment, please. I'm probably made a mistake due to the fact that it's 1:52 here and I'm incredibly tired.
That's no excuse.
And not to mention, we've been talking about Sasuke so much that I sometimes lose track of what we're talking about with him.
Okay,
Talking about
so
how he's
basically, I'm
die
gonna
by
run this
Man of
down
Steel
really quick.
style.
So basically, everybody's like not taking my opinions anymore because they think, oh, well, you're just expressing Sasuke hate, and that's all it is. You're not really
Oh,
looking at it for
that's
what it is. And I'm like, absolutely, I'm
oh, that was I was doing exactly what they were doing. My
yeah.
bad.
And so
Yeah.
I'm saying that if anybody, any one of you, I don't care who you are, chat, if any one of you
Shoot, proof, better shoot.
tries to insult me by doing that, fuck you. I am
Shit.
never taking your opinions at value again. If you honestly really think that, if you think that my opinions mean nothing and is nothing more than, oh, because you hate Sasuke, if you really think that my opinions are that fucking shallow, go fuck yourself.
So, why do you think Naruto needs to learn this lesson that he doesn't exactly succeed, but he didn't fail either?
The funny thing is, The funny thing is that could still happen, but we gotta wait and see. Like I said, if you want to call it a total win, the win would be Sasuke come back to Konoha, fist pumping everybody, including the one he tried to kill. But if you think about a win and lose situation, it would be, yeah, you made me change my mind, but I'm not going back to Konoha if that's what you're still hoping.
I think that's what I
That's
was
still
trying to say.
to me that's still a win lose because again, Naruto want to bring him back, but that's not gonna happen. He could save him from doing the stupidest thing in the universe. Well, it's not that stupid, but in terms of only those four, yes, it is. The thing is, just save him. Just stop him from doing something disaster. For what I know, Sakura will be okay. She even say, come. I mean, she tried to say, like, try to come back to Team 7 for a little bit. Maybe it would be a better understanding. But after that, maybe she probably think, you know what? It's okay. As long as he's okay, as long as he's not thinking about, oh, let's kill every Gokages and the Bijus, then it's okay.
As long as he's slitting his own wrist, it's okay.
That too.
We don't care if he, as long as it's his own people. It's basically the Russian argument.
It's just that
It's okay if you kill your own people. It's when you start killing other people's people is when people get mad.
I mean, it's understandable why.
Killing anyone is a crime.
I mean, it's understandable why she has to outright and say what she has to say is because again, Sasuke was about to kill Gokages, real people that's just doing some friendly work. Maybe they're not friendly, but who knows? The point is, he's just killing people. What kind of things that's considered right anymore for him?
Who knows how many more murders he probably would have committed? Like, how many people actually would have openly objected to Sasuke and he'd just strike them down?
Exactly.
You wouldn't know if he wouldn't do that or not.
Yeah. So it's not like damn it, I'm gonna fight him because I want him back. It's more like, damn it, I gotta fight him because he's about to do evil deeds, and I just want him to understand that there is always a good way to do it, and not this way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know what Sasuke reminds me of?
Go.
General Zod from Man of Steel.
He does.
It's almost the exact same way.
Why do you think I keep saying Man of Steel ending? Why do you think I keep saying that? I'm not saying that because it looked cool in the movie. But it did look cool. It was awesome.
That's all we need for an ending. Hey Sasuke, what? Snap.
Well, not like that. But like I said, since Sakura is still KO, you might as well, I don't know, somehow bring her in there and then have Sasuke. If you love this world so damn much, then you will moan for them. And then you try to use the Sasuke. Don't do it! Stop! Never! Sasuke! See? It works! It works!
Yeah, but Sasuke is like what he's talking about now. At least now what he's talking about, not before.
Yeah.
Is almost like Zod. It's basically Zod's whole thing in the Man of Steel because Zod was the same way. The leaders led them to ruin. He either killed or took them prisoner, and says, our foolish leaders led us to ruin. So I'm gonna rebuild Krypton. I'm gonna rebuild it. And Jor-El looks at him and goes, he goes to Jarrell, who's basically the Naruto in this case, and says, join me, help me save our people. And then the Jarrell looks at Zod and says, and who is going to be the decider whose bloodlines succeed? You? So he's basically it's exactly like this. So basically, Sasuke is like, we're going to destroy the leaders, we're going to destroy the past, and then we're going to rebuild from the ground up. And I'm going to be the deciding factor on what stays and goes.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
A god, am I?
Isn't that is that from Spider-Man? That line? Oh no, that's something else. Whatever. Yeah, that's
With
what I'm saying.
great power comes great responsibility.
That's what I'm saying, though. It works itself. It really works itself. Like I said, instead of having laser beam from his eyes, just have Sasuke getting ready to take a swing at Sakura.
For Sengun.
And then Naruto just snap his neck. And then, you know how his eyes was fading to blank because he just died. His Sharingan and his Rinnegan just disappeared. See, it works itself. It's genius.
Due to the fact that there's this Naruto the last movie, it's possible that we're not going to have Sasuke dying.
Yeah, he's just
If
ends
it's
up being a
canon,
Muslim
sure.
pirate.
Arr. Or he could
That's
make
what
it,
people say he looks like.
or make a rap album. I don't know. One way or another. Yo, check.
Anyway, have we run out of things to talk about now?
No, we'll find something to talk about.
There's something I wanna
Let's talk about why Hinata's so popular.
Oh,
We've
that?
talked about this 100 times.
I already did a whole thing about that.
He wrote a post about it, which is really good.
Really?
Guys. Really good. But
thank you.
yeah.
Oh God, please no.
But that was something I was gonna address.
I'm joking. We've already addressed this like over 100 times.
Oh,
Don't worry.
I guess we could talk one last thing. It's the joy and the joy of prank, I guess you could say, kind of, from the NaruSaku fans or any haters of NaruSaku, because apparently they made a tweet. I made a leak.
Oh, here we go.
Yes, and it's a long story, but to make a story short, there was a leak. We all think it was real, especially where there's a lot of evidence to it, even though the pic could be Photoshop or whatever. A really good one, no less. But
It's not
then-
the people, it's the tools.
yes, but then it turns out it was a fake. But who made it? It wasn't NaruSaku to make us overjoyed. It was actually Sasuke to say, see that now you know how we feel, so fuck you. So that was pretty mean.
Okay,
Now you know how we feel. Sorry, we're not delusional fuckheads like you. So
So
we
pretty
don't know
much-
how you feel.
Yeah.
We're not
So
sniffing paint and thinking that our, pairing is going to happen when it, specifically it says no.
So pretty much they have their fun by pranking us and
They
pretty
also do
much
folklores.
Yeah.
Which is what a
Yeah.
lot of people are doing lately. Sasuke is going to become canon because it's based on a folklore. No.
well, if you're going to base on folklore, the first one I would think it was the Jiraiya one. Because Jiraiya and Tsunade got married, but not in the manga.
Here's a hint. Izanagi and Izanami? Yeah, it's based on folklore too.
Yep.
Has nothing to do with the actual folklore. Not even close.
Just
only in name
reference.
only. Yeah.
Reference, and I mean, they could use a little bit more than the name, but you won't go deep as in the whole entire story. Like, oh, so that's how it goes. No. There's a limit. He's just gonna use the name reference and maybe a little bit of a background, but like, oh, this came from that ancient, but that's it.
So do we have any questions?
There is no questions at all.
Well,
Just
I got one, but it's not really about the chapter or anything.
Okay, go.
No questions from me.
Me neither. The only thing I want to talk about is the new Naruto Shippuden opening, which I'm willing to play if anyone hasn't heard it yet.
I heard it. I like it. I really like it. Though it just reminds me how the anime opening is such a teaser, and then the fact that when you watch the episode, boy, what a letdown. But we'll see when that time
Yeah.
comes.
And I hope so.
It's true.
Boy, what a letdown.
I hate anime opening just for that. Oh, he's playing it.
No, please don't play it over the mic. That hurts.
Yeah, just save it for later. Ow, just save it for later.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do hate anime
How to
openings
describe the
because
Naruto versus Pain fight? Boy, what a letdown!
oh
that
my
that
god,
animation.
oh
I
my
will
god.
admit, I'll admit though the song's nice. It's the best.
Hey, it's no
In
fighting
my
dream.
opinion,
So
it's the. In my opinion, in the line of Shippuden songs, it's the best one we've had since opening
Dream.
4.
It's most it was more heart than any other than last opening. That's for sure. Last opening was those. It was lazy. It was stiff. It was boring. That was it. This one, really, really, really cool. But man, the day episode comes, you're gonna be so let down. I mean, we should have learned that from Pain Arc. God.
yeah.
If
You
you're
know,
gonna,
I wonder how the Japanese react to their own animes and episodes and openings and stuff. Do they have the same point of views as we do, or do they have different? Since
it's
different
probably
culture,
it's probably
different.
similar.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go that too much difference. Maybe the difference would be like, wow, this is like this feels like a yaoi moment, and then we probably be like, I don't get what's going on, and the Japanese probably be like, oh my god, daisuki. or stuff like that.
Every play is not in Japan. Oh my god, I can't believe Sakura did that. Oh my god, I can't believe Sasuke did that. Oh my god, I can't believe Naruto did that. In Japan. What the fuck? How come Kakashi isn't doing anything?
Anyway, I heard that some Narusaku fans were not happy about Sakura's lack of involvement in this opening. But hey,
Yes,
I'm
that's what.
fine. I was perfectly fine with it because, hey, when it came to opening 13 and 14, she didn't appear at all, which pissed me off.
Wow.
I don't watch the anime anyway, so nah.
Well,
I
like
don't
I
give a
said,
shit.
well, the anime opening focused a lot more on Obito, and then with later 30 minutes one, not 30 second, later 20 second, it's all the future reference with Madara killing both Naruto and Sasuke. So you can't really spoil too much, but we'll see.
What they
We'll
did.
see. But they did,
Yeah.
they pretty
They
much did.
kinda did.
They did with the entire Obito and Naruto gonna talk, with him being good guy.
No,
So,
wait, stop. Don't come inside me. Context.
I would like to know what is the schedule for the anime, because I want to know if they really gonna go all the way to where we at. Well, we're not all the way where we at, but at least all the way to Kaguya's fight, or we're just gonna fill in soon. Because I do think filler is ringing tone right now.
Okay. Anyway, so is that everything we can discuss now, please?
Well, actually,
I-
you did ask the question.
All right, what question?
Well, it wasn't for
What-
you guys. It was actually for me. But I guess it can involve you guys. in
Sure.
some
go
way.
ahead.
Well, I've gotten people questions sometimes. I gotten some people asking me like after Naruto is done, and the podcast is no longer going to be made because there's no more chapters. What are we going to do next?
The next big thing, I don't know.
Move on with our
I
lives.
haven't thought about it. You know, like there's so many things I could do with this channel. I could do Let's Plays. I could do other stuff. We could actually, I mean, depending on what you guys are up for, we could actually do other manga series. To get into it.
Boo, go back to the Fire Nation. Nah, I'll be okay.
Go back to the Fire Nation.
Anyway, but you could do discussions about like how you hate the Dark Knight Rises and all that stuff about Superman and Batman and DC, of what you like and dislike.
we could do what you just
Do
said.
52 podcast.
Well, you could do.
Well, that'd be a monthly podcast for whatever new movie, new TV show,
you could do
whatever comes on.
But you could do that, like talk about different chapters, like different manga series in I don't know, in an hour.
You
Like,
can still talk about like the spin-off material that Naruto might produce, because I'm hoping that there is spin-off material of Naruto with parts that we didn't see, or character interactions that we didn't particularly get. in
wait,
the
are we talking about the SD?
No, I'm not talking about ST.
Oh.
I'm talking about actual kind of canon, but just
Oh.
mini
Yeah.
sections.
Right. But yeah,
I have many options.
yeah. So
I just don't know I just don't know what I'm gonna do and what you guys are gonna do. I mean, am I gonna have you guys in more recordings, or are you guys up for doing other stuff? But it
I
also
don't
depends
mind.
on your
We can do it
schedule.
right now. Bleach Chapter. I don't know. Have no idea what I just read.
Meanwhile, on High School of the Dead, we haven't gotten an update yet.
One
So I
Piece.
hear that manga's terrible.
What?
I hear that manga's terrible.
High School of the Dead?
I
Yeah.
have
Oh,
no
the
comment.
dead.
I
Have
have
you
no
have you
comment.
read it?
No, but I've heard it's terrible. Besides,
Ugh.
it's
Yeah,
fan
a lot of people say
service,
Attack on Titan is terrible too, but it's also popular.
It's
I have
mostly
mixed
so
opinions on
because it's zombies eat zombie gore and fan service. I saw one clip where a girl was being eaten and you could see her panties. Yeah, and that just kind of made me uncomfortable. I did not need to see that.
I have mixed
Okay.
Since we're off tangent here, I have mixed opinions on High School of the Dead. On the one hand, the manga, it's alright. It's nothing too groundbreaking or spectacular. It does what it needs to do, gets the job done, tells a story. The anime, on the other hand, is a totally different beast.
Yes, because apparently when they see The Walking Dead, we need more boobies. They probably got the result from that. We need Matrix boobies because Walking Dead would never provide us that. We get provided with some drama and some arrow shooting and all that bloody stuff. So we need
Yeah.
boobies.
That's one problem with anime. You can, well, it's also a problem in the US, but not as bad.
I still like it.
Yeah,
I haven't read the manga. I want to watch the anime. but
Okay,
I
I'll put
was
it this way. I'll put it this way. The anime is shallow.
Yes,
We
it is.
know it is. Okay,
Yes.
this is not Shakespeare in the Park kind of thing.
Yes.
Although some people hate Shakespeare in the Park, but I'm just saying this is not a story that's gonna win Pulitzer Prize, or whatever, and for writing thing. It is, however, entertainment. And it is entertaining. It's like a popcorn movie. You don't go because it has an interesting story. You go because it's fun.
A
you know?
story.
I mean,
Yeah.
like Michael Bay.
Maybe because yeah, you can say that. Maybe because maybe I got stingy because I think that was when the time where Walking Dead just started out, and I was like, yeah, zombies, finally, zombies that we gotta take it serious, zombies that we could relate to these characters somehow in some form of way, instead of like, oh yeah, let's get down with this giant tank and just show all these zombies up, yo, because that's
Yeah.
how it becomes, a very parody of his own kind, or very over the top. But now we're getting into the serious side. Like, damn, this is the first day of my
Well,
life.
maybe we can review Rosario Vampire. That's another popular series.
I actually think High School of the Dead is pretty good.
No, I haven't read it, but I haven't watched it. So I
okay,
can't
but
see it further than that.
I'll
That's
put
what I
it.
can say.
I'm just gonna say this. No major spoilers, but there's a certain point in the manga where they get to a mall. Okay. I know, Dawn of the Dead kind of thing. Yes, it does make homage to that, so I'm just gonna let you guys know. It does make homage to a lot of zombie movies in history, which is nice. It's fun, but
Yeah.
I think this is where the story truly picks up. Is right when they get to the mall. Now the thing is about the sex and all the stuff like that about it. It actually starts playing a role into the story other than just fan service because
Can you give me
the
the male
characters-
protagonist name?
Huh?
Can you give me the male protagonist name?
Takashi.
Takashi. No, Takashi. Yamate. There. Okay, go.
Okay,
Well, you just shut up a minute,
but
James.
He's talking, not me.
the story, the story of the sex and it plays with the idea of what's human and what's a monster, and what happens when the people start turning into the monsters and not the zombies, because you see people go psychotic, and it happens on almost any zombie story. You see people just snap and lose it, and it's hard not to imagine that. And this is where that kind of element plays in from that point on. So the sex doesn't just become like a gratuitous fan service. It actually plays into the character's development.
Mm-hmm.
You still get the fan service. Don't get me
No,
wrong.
I
It's still
know.
there.
It just seems a little bit funny.
Oh hell yeah!
It just seems funny that we have to go through with that in order to get the lesson of the story. It's like, okay, good, I guess. Like it's kind of like saying like
Yeah,
we gotta save this world. You just have to have sex with me right now because I have the power for
Hold
it.
on. Major point, please.
Yes.
Please. You take forever.
Well, it's not. Well, we have to go through a whole bunch of Sasuke shit in order to get to this point in the manga. So I think if you can put up with that, you can put up with that.
Touche.
So
Possibly. Anyway,
Yeah.
I do wonder, James. What do you think about the Ace and Luffy brother bond? If you know anything about it.
Too late. That's my only comment. Okay, I'll be honest. When I saw the flashback, I was like wondering why the hell we're seeing the flashback if this has happened already. You know what I mean? It's like you did it too late, sir. I would understand more pain if I would have saw this flashback first before seeing Ace death. But there is more point. But the real point aspect is obviously Sabo, which is messed up to say that, but that's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
thanks for that input, James. I'm glad.
No problem.
Anyway.
Which is funny because his real name is James.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yes.
Yes, thank you
Spoilers.
for explaining the joke.
Yes, I know because nobody's gonna get that joke,
Mm-hmm.
except for us in the podcast. But
Okay. Anyway. Your answer, James.
my answer is if Naruto is considered too much bromance, One Piece is too little. You know, it's there, but it's not enough. I mean, you need the right amount of it, and One Piece you could go a little bit farther with it to make it more of a connection, but it tries to go a safer route and not put too much.
That's the whole case of the entire manga.
Not to mention he's juggling every other theme in there.
More or less, yes.
Which is a bad thing, because which can be a bad thing because it's like too many characters on screen. You want to develop each character right, but you can't do that because you're too busy developing another character.
This is the one series I really try not to remember everybody's name anymore. Just the Straw Hat Crews
Personally,
and
to be honest, this is why I have issues with
this
Dressrosa.
this arc has way too many characters. I can't even remember everyone. And yes, Oda did in fact give everybody's name. So in hindsight, you're supposed to remember everybody's name. But that's impossible.
I have issues with like the fandom of One Piece and the manga. They still consider it genius storytelling, so well written. Yet when other mangas like Fairy Tail, Naruto, and Bleach have arcs that introduce way too many characters, they go like, it's shit, it's crap, it's oh my god, they are horrible writers, blah blah blah. This man's ruined. But with One Piece, it's a work of genius.
You know what's funny?
Welcome to a fandom.
You know what's funny? When I was actually summarizing just earlier, since James probably think about like, maybe we could talk about other manga series in the future. Who knows? And I was like, okay, let me give you a quick one. Here we go. Let's see. Bleach. I don't know what I just read, and that's what I actually felt for this chapter. To be honest with you, I really don't know what the hell I just read. I mean, I know, but at the same time, I don't know because if I were to give you that chapter today, you'd be like, who are these characters right now? You won't even think you're reading Bleach. You have not one significant character that you know that is from Bleach. You know what I mean? It's like
It's like starting Dragon Ball Z at the Dragon Ball Z portion. You see Goku, Piccolo, Krillin, Bulma, Master Roshi, all these characters, and you wonder who the hell are these people?
It turns into Gears of War.
Which is what
What the hell's going on here? And who the hell is that guy? And what the hell are those things? Plural.
It doesn't help. It doesn't help that Bleach does focus too much on the side characters, so you would really be lost. But like, I thought he was the main character. Yeah. Nope.
Would you say that Naruto sometimes focuses too much on its main characters? Well, Naruto and Sasuke and a little of Kakashi and Sakura.
Are you kidding me? Do you know how often sometimes Naruto is not the main character of his own manga?
Yeah, I remember that complaint before Pain arc happened. I remember that complaint before the Pain arc happened. It's like, so why are we getting Shikamaru? Where's Naruto? Like, trading.
It's kind of ironic, really. The for the first half.
Too
of
much side
part-
characters. Too less side
hold on.
characters.
Oh, let me just say, for the first half of part 2, we say, "Oh my God, we're not getting enough Naruto. We're not getting enough Naruto. Please, it sucks. It sucks." Now that we do get enough Naruto on the war, they're going like, "Oh my God, too much Naruto. Too much Naruto. This manga sucks."
I guess it's like
When we get both Naruto and Sasuke, oh my God, too much Naruto and Sasuke. Let's see Sakura.
I guess it's like I forgot what show did it. I think it was Futurama. It's like more salt, a little less salt, more salt, a little less salt, more salt,
No,
too
that's-
much salt.
No,
I
No,
forgot.
no, cheese and macaroni.
No. That's the Simpsons when Homer puts the lobster in the fresh water tank,
Yes.
and he has to make it balanced for the goldfish and the
Yes,
lobster.
there we go. That was it. That's what it is. It's like dealing with that whole entire situation. It's like, is there such thing as getting balance? I mean, there is, but at the same time, it's still not satisfying because you're gonna be like too balanced, too similar, too equal. I'm like, oh my God. It'd be like the same thing with that damn Bender statue. It's like we're doing the exact same thing you said. Too exact.
I will admit, for me personally, I think Mr. Kishimoto handled it pretty well. For the first half of part 2, he handled the character use, I think, pretty well. Don't get me wrong, I think there are parts where characters' roles could have been expanded upon, but I think when he set up the characters for like each arc was okay. I mean, Team Guy assisting Team Kakashi in rescuing Gaara. Let's see, Sai and Yamato be introducing. Let's see, the rest of the rookies introducing the Yamato and Sai arc, and Sai and Yamato being main characters in it, and Team 10 in the next arc. I do think that Sakura and Sai should have gone a bit more active role. Particularly Sakura talking with Ino, I think, would have been interesting to see. And I do like the idea of Team 10 teaming up to track down Sasuke, but their role, they weren't given much of a big role until Toby showed up, and that was it. And I did like how the Rookie 9 were all facing different 6 paths of pain. It's just that they were cut off too short to actually see what they did in fighting those separate pain. I think that's kind of what hurt what hurt some of the people's opinions on the characters during those times. They did get moments, it's just they were too short.
I just want to stop. I'm just tired of explaining to people that Sakura is a main character, not the main character.
Yeah, it's a huge difference, guys.
Yeah, because everyone's like, oh well, she's a main character. She should get more focus, but she's not the main character. She has more focus than every other secondary character in the entire manga, but she's not gonna have the most focus. She's not gonna be the one to defeat the big bad. She's not gonna be the one to make the important plays. It's
Well,
not. It's
well, yeah. At least you got some credit for Kaguya, but
yeah.
go on.
But it's not. I really want people to understand this. It's not her role to save Sasuke, okay? It never was her role. It was entirely Naruto's from the very beginning, and you can see the characters lampshade this.
In fact, her role at best is to like assist when she can, pretty much.
Yeah.
And she does get big moments. I mean, Sasori, she technically got the first big boss battle against Sasori.
Which is still awesome. Which is still awesome at this time. But
Yeah.
I
yes, go on.
think personally, I think Sakura's story would have been much better if she got at least 2 more fights. It didn't have to be as long as the Sasori one, but I think 2 more fights would have done it for me. I
Who
mean,
knows?
Uh-huh.
Or at least
think that
one
would
in the
be
war.
yeah, 1 or 2 more. I kind of think that's just what was missing
Yeah. So
between what's happening now and what happened at the beginning of this
the
arc.
Mifune versus Hanzo fight. So fucking pointless.
I blame the whole Jubi thing because that's when it became an RPG gameplay more so than a fighting game. What I mean is that everybody could do a one-on-one and it'd be like, well, it's not that far-fetched that this guy defeated him. But But then when you have Jubi, Jinchuruki, you'd be like, okay, this would be a bullshit if this guy actually beat him. All right, fine. I'll make it into a teamwork. I need you, and you. There, y'all all strong. So it's not that far-fetched. You satisfied? Damn, now I'm going to do the play.
War would have played better off. The first day of the war have been played better off. It's more of the fights were team battles. Have more than one character taking down this Edo Tensei.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah, but...
They did that with, like, the Sabuzar, with Kakashi being assisted by the 3rd Division.
With the
and
equal...
teaming up, and Conqueror's team against Dedra and Sasori, and Team 10 against...
Well, the last equal footing... The last equal...
What?
Go.
Continue?
Off a little.
Continue?
Yes, you're cutting off a little, though.
Oh, really?
Right, you continue.
I think perhaps maybe if day one's fights had more people involved in the fights, I think there would have been a lot less complaining. Or at least the the generals of the army got the minor fights, while the characters we know got the major fights. I'm just saying that might have worked better. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. I'm just saying that the last equal footing fight was against Kabuto. Everything else becomes I need you and maybe you to help me because he is way too god tier for me. It's an RPG gameplay, pretty much.
Personally, I will admit there are some bits in Kishimoto's story that's a mess, but it's a really good story. It's just the bits in there between that messes up.
Unless there's a part 3, we'll see who you could do. But I don't think there is one. At this time...
There is a part 3. I really hope that some of the more side characters gets focus, and Hinata to finally give up her obsession with Naruto. Seriously.
If NaruSaku becomes canon before the last time zone, then I guess she has to. What's the point of doing it? she won't win it. She can't win anymore. It's locked. It's sealed. It's written in the stones. I don't know. It's done. Deal. End of story. Move on. But
anyway, have we reached the conclusion of this podcast?
Almost. We have one last thing to talk about because I got this a lot.
Go ahead.
I want to explain this because it really is important.
Go ahead.
Okay, so yes, it is about last chapter, but it's something more specific. What Sakura said to Sasuke was Daisuki, which means I like you very much. Okay?
Thank you.
Now, what a lot of people are having a problem with is they don't know whether she meant it in a loving romantic way or a platonic way, or, because they're basing it all on the word itself. People, it could be used both ways. Okay? The problem is that you have to understand the context of the scene that she used it. And this is even more evidence of this being used both ways because Kakashi used Daisuke when referring to Team 7. How he liked his Team 7 now.
Yeah, unless he's planning to marry all of them.
Yeah, it doesn't mean he's going to have sex with them. It doesn't mean he wants to get into a relationship with them. He just says, I like my team now. I love my students.
Can I just point out that Maggie kind of said that when Sakura was saying all that stuff, she was sort of stuttering, there was ... She was kind of stopping now and then, trying to figure out what she wanted to say.
Yeah.
That kind of happened.
Yeah, well... But again, people are automatically going to jump on she means it all in a romantic way, she's stuttering, she's doing all this. It could be that because she was afraid, because she knows what's going to happen. She knows the Naruto and Sasuke fight's going to happen, so she's trying, because she's nervous, she wants to try one more attempt to stop it before it even begins.
Mm-hmm.
And she, and the way I read it was that she said it this way, and Sasuke mistook it as it being a confession, because again, she has confessed to him before with the same thing, so he still thinks she is that part 1. Again, it's kind of like Kishimoto is looking at the fan base itself and saying, "You're looking at this wrong," And then you have Kakashi saying, that's not what she meant,"
Which makes way more sense than the last chapter. Right,
Yeah.
the last chapter, the last translation. Because last translation, he became, out of nowhere, the biggest fan in the universe, which that's not the case.
Yeah, she
Made
wasn't
it seem-
trying to confess her love to you and want you to come with her and run away in a a romantic getaway of some sort. He was just saying that, you know, you've been causing all this trouble. She has been painting over this for a long time, and she just wants you to come back now. She just wants to save you. That's it, because she's a kind girl like that. And it follows through with what the whole, but they have changed since then. It makes sense.
675. Yeah, it actually makes sense, which is shockingly because before with the old translation, they actually made it seem like 675 was on the Sasuke side, which will baffle my mind beyond belief to the point that I actually lose an ounce of respect for this mangaka. But seems like redemption has been served.
Yeah. So remember when I tell people that you can't read this story one chapter at a time? This is what happens when you read it one chapter at a time.
Which I'm planning to do with volume 66, which I bought a while back.
You have to read the story as a continuous story.
Mm-hmm.
You have to pretend it's not coming out one chapter a week, basically.
It's not like with America, where cartoons is kind of like a one-episode story, and to one-episode story for most part.
Yeah.
With cartoons and all that.
And very rarely do they make references to past episodes.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, true, South Park kind of did it with today, with like the last two episodes where the boys kind of abandoned school until they wanted to fuck off, and they kind of suffered consequences. But yeah, it wasn't.
There are exceptions to the rule,
Yeah.
but for the most part, yeah.
Not to mention, it was kind of handled poorly, really.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
I'm referring to South Park.
What about South Park?
Oh my god,
Well-
Free Life spaced out.
My bad. I ain't paid.
Okay. I'm going to repeat this one last time, okay?
Just make it quick.
Let's see. I'm saying how in USA cartoons and animations and stories, it's usually just a one-episode story. True, there are
Okay.
Sort of.
There are
Okay.
some that
I get
usually the finale does have some sort of lead up in certain shows, but the only time when it really is a continuous story I've seen from one episode to the next was the South Park's last two episodes, where the boys went to do did a fuck you campaign to everyone they know, and when they came back to school, they had to suffer the consequences of telling everyone that they wanted to screw off. And who knows? And they may possibly continue more on this next episode since Butter said and put the school gym on fire.
I'm surprised they actually did that. I haven't seen the second one. I saw the first one. I'm surprised they're actually continuing. I guess they're having a different strategy in their TV series. Usually, they used to be one parts only. I bet they acknowledged what happened before. It'd be like one time they had to go to Peru or something like that, and then like a couple of episodes later, it's like, hey, did you know about High School Musical? It's like, High School Musical? What the hell is that? Wait, how you not know this? Where have you been? Peru. So it's like, I can understand the continuum, but I never think they would do like that. But like, what the hell? Your company messed up everything and stuff like that. So I'm actually surprised hearing that. I thought it would be like the Family Guy's tactics, which one episode actually did acknowledge by saying like a lot of things happen in one day, and by the end of the episode, Meg begs the question, we're gonna ignore everything which just happened before, and Peter just respond, that's right, Meg. Which pretty much is a nutshell for every TV show, comedy style. You pretty much ignore everything which just happened. You already did your deeds.
Yeah. But as I was saying, I hope this last chapter, not last one, but the week before, I hope you people have learned 3 lessons from this. 1, translations can only go so far. 2, even if you have the raws and the words of what exactly is said, going by the words alone do not explain the entire context. Sometimes it can, but in some cases it doesn't.
Kind of like when in Star Wars there are like silent scenes, like in the prequels or in the original trilogy, where they're just staring into the sunset or Anakin looking at a field of lava.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. And 3,
Never drink coconut from the dark.
licking doorknobs on other planets is illegal. I don't know.
I will.
And 3, please, try to understand that, now I lost my train of thought. Great.
Shouldn't have made
And
the
3,
coconut.
make sure when you make a point, you remember that point. And
And
3,
number 4.
and 3, make sure, again, make sure you're reading this manga as a whole thing. Don't
Right.
read it week by week. You have to read it as this one complete story.
Exactly.
I even sometimes do that same mistake with One Piece when you should read it all together, but still, yeah.
Well,
So-
yeah.
And number 4. I will tend to laugh loudly at pretty much whenever something gets under someone's nerves.
Yes.
Just to be fair,
And my
well,
laughter is
let's
quite
just say
infectious
this
too.
far. People, I will apologize to anyone I have offended during this
Though
part.
I,
And anyone
though I
else.
usually just.
Well, I'm waiting. I'm waiting.
What?
I'm waiting.
Waiting for what?
Apologies.
I'm sorry, okay?
It's cool.
Though usually I'll just mute my microphone so that it's not that disruptive.
You
Once in a while.
just need Rolf in here, like going, all is forgiven. Thank you, Rolf.
All is forgiven.
Alright.
I'm just, yeah, I'm sorry for snapping at you too, BlueStar, but it's been really bothering me lately because a lot of people have been insulting me or insulting
yeah.
my opinion.
Yeah, it's, I'm sorry too. It's late here and I'm kind of cranky at this time.
It's fine.
I mean, my brother kept me up so much, I actually lost it. I swore for the first time.
I actually wasn't really being serious. I was just cracking jokes at it.
Well, thankfully, I'm not sorry for anything since I have not done anything wrong here today. So.
Oh, well, we're not sorry to you.
Nah, I'm just kidding. Nah, I do apologize for interrupting a lot of things what they have to say because I
Damn
guess
right you should be.
because we was in the heat of the moment. We was in the heat of the moment, and it's kind of been a while for a long discussion, a big discussion, no less, hasn't occurred in this podcast because everything else is so simple since we keep winning. But now it's the different subject with the whole opinion being bashed, which is baffling because it's an opinion. So why would you bash your opinion? Just let it go.
While we talk about how freedom of speech is important, we do really not like to hear what other people have to say, even if we don't, and not to mention we don't like to admit that we're wrong.
You're not the only one who has a right to your opinion, I'll put it that way. Which a lot of people tend to think now. It's like, oh, well, it's my opinion. That's fine, but I have my opinion too. You're not the only one.
I'm not.
Yeah, you're not for life.
Trying so hard.
And Steve
Oh,
here
so
is
hard.
not laughing with you. He's laughing at you.
Steve, you're so mean. Okay. I'm Blue Star Saber, ready to sign off.
For life, waiting for another chapter and maybe another bashing topics from the own fandom, which is kind of sad. But yeah, for life, leaving out.
LKNMJH, also known as Steve, waiting for something else to
Bash on
make
that.
something else that people will let get to them that'll make me laugh.
Okay. And you, James?
And I'm James S. Cassidy saying, and the horse you rode in on.